Hello and welcome in, everybody. Welcome into episode 3 of Hunt to Killer's Earthbreak Omega Protocol. Yo, Magic Place, Exquisite, Katie, hello, all welcome in. Wolf Fighter, I saw you pop in as well, welcome. And so we appreciate you all being here because today's episode, we did some research, and apparently these episodes on average can take around 4 hours. So we are glad to have your help because we want to try to get these episodes to keep them under 2.5 hours each. And just kind of go from there. But as always, I'm Strange Tangent, joined by my amazing and lovely other half, Red Panda. And so we're gonna get started on that today. But if you missed out on episodes 1 and 2, don't worry, we've got you. Big spoiler warning probably right about now if you're watching this later on YouTube. And then if you're also watching on YouTube, then right up there in that corner is going to be the link to our playlist for this specific these specific episodes. So, and for our Hunt to Killer overall playlist as well. But yeah, absolutely. Magic, we're doing great. It's been a little while, I know, but we're definitely doing pretty good. Work's been a little crazy, and so we've got a little delayed here between episodes for a while. Life and work just took over. So thank you to all of you for your patience in these episodes, and we just can't thank you enough for all of that. So let's get started with episode 3. And dive into some physical evidence. Okay. If you've never joined us for a Hunt to Killer stream before, what we do is we take the Hunt to Killer series boxes, we break these apart and follow the different episodes, and we upload the physical documentation, the physical evidence, all into the Discord. If you're watching on YouTube, that'll be down in the description down below. And then if you're watching live right now on Twitch, then feel free to click that link that I just threw into the chat. And that'll take you to our Discord where you can see the evidence once I get that all uploaded here in just a minute. We'll do that while either myself or Red Panda get the contact letter read through so we know kind of what we're doing for this episode.
This thing looks intimidating as heck. I'm just gonna put that right out there.
Yeah, I'm just really glad that the pieces were labeled because it came apart at some point when I went to put it back together, and I was like, all right. So luckily the pieces were labeled like, middle, bottom, and then the top piece was obviously the top piece.
Okay. But, well, maybe this has something to do with that protocol thing or Hell Circuit stuff.
Oh, maybe.
It's probably some kind of a code. We'll see.
Yeah.
That looks terrifying, though, I'm not gonna lie.
And then I have this over.
Looks like we have another password card.
So, yep. So another password card. We've got that rotating puzzle. It looks like a messenger bag.
Yep.
Okay.
I haven't opened it yet.
Okay.
Dying to, but I haven't opened it yet.
That's fine. I mean, you can open it if you'd like.
All right.
Yeah.
Totally
I know you're like, chomping at the bit here to try to get that open.
He left this thing out for 2 days on the table. Let me tell you the amount of strength it took for me to not touch everything. I was like, you legit tempted me. Thankfully, I value my relationship with you guys more.
That was my fault. I was in a hurry and left it sitting on the table for like 2 days out in the living room instead of hiding it from her so she didn't have to stare at it all the time.
It's like a froggy version of Licky Tongue.
Yep, so that is, I think, the
extreme spicy
noodle,
sodium.
The noodle packet.
Okay. This looks hardcore. I do really like the... Dang, they really did that in, didn't they? That's pretty good. So, lots of writing. Looks like a lot of gibberish, though. I'm recognizing a few words.
Right now, with more sodium.
Yes, lots of sodium. 75% more sodium. And very spicy, yeah.
Okay.
Can you imagine? That's like a heart attack right there. Or at the very least, a blood pressure spikeage. Please tell me there's something else in here, though. This is pretty neat, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I like it.
This is actually really cool. I mean, you could use this for cable cords. You could use it for, like, a medicine pouch.
You could use it as a messenger bag.
Not for me. It wouldn't be enough room. We both know it. There's no denying it. Oh my. No, not again. Not again.
Yeah, so we have
right now.
3 more letters. Looks like those are the coded messages 1, 2, and 3. I don't know which one's 1, which one's 2,
Yeah,
which one's
no.
3. So I picked random numbers for the files.
You have to legitimately look at like the cheats to be able to know.
Figure out which one's which.
It's awful. Well, it's got fancy writing though. That's a very pretty kind of font. Okay, totally terrified. Okay, I'm seeing Proverbs.
Kat, I hope you are ready to help us. Like I said at the beginning of this, we are going to need your help.
Yeah.
Once I get these uploaded in the Discord, if you all would like to help, decide if anybody would like to pick one of these coded messages to help us go through it, so we know which one you're working on, so then we're not working on it as well. And then go from there. So we'll make sure. Something sparked Red Panda's memory.
The writing is super.
See, this is stuff that I would not have remembered. Looking at that, I did not go, "Oh yeah, that looks just like the handwriting from this other piece of paper."
Look at these slashes.
I would never have thought of
the
that.
angle.
This
is
why Red Panda loves doing this stuff.
This is the unknown contact that is talking to Matthias and is the hoots.
Okay.
But I have no idea who the author of this yet is, but they talk about cluster, so it's interesting because Matthias is never mentioned with cluster. So, but I just the font and the slant and the thinness of the font, it just caught my eye immediately. That just made me think of even here, where the slashes are. It looks so much like that unknown person.
Correct. It's I'll get it uploaded all here in just a second once we go through it all, and then
these are going to be hard.
Letter, I'll get that all uploaded.
Clearly stated, those are going to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
All right, is that everything from here? Or am I missing anything?
So I think that's everything in there, unless I missed something. But I'm pretty sure that's everything.
Unless we probably won't know for now. That's just a really cool bag.
Yeah,
I like it. They definitely don't mess around.
And then it looks like we have our standard stuff. We have our contact letter.
Yep.
Looks like it's patient notes is what's up next on that. And then a doctor's guide.
Appointment number 53. Sorry. The first thing I see is appointment number 53.
Right?
Some of them like the doctors.
That's the doctor's guide. And then the next one looks like it's the field note propaganda. No, we'll have to use,
Sorry, that's hilarious.
Oh, we're listening?
We're listening, and so are they. Mind your speech.
Right.
The aliens are outside and can hear them, remember? Right. Yeah, that's funny.
Okay, so do you want to start going through the
that's awesome.
Contact letter?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
while you're doing that, I will get this stuff uploaded.
Should we do that and then this? Because this is how we get logged in again.
Yeah, that's...
Is that the plan?
That's fine.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing. This is total political propaganda. It's hilarious, and I cannot wait to read through it better. All right. Contact. So let's
All right, everything's uploaded in Discord chat.
To C117, which is us. I apologize for keeping my identity a secret from you for so long, but if we're going to have to get through this together, I need to know I'm putting my faith in the right person. You have everything you need to know who I am. Someone helped Persephone leave the facility, and whoever it was had a hand in her death. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, I was not expecting that to come out.
What, that whoever helped her had a hand in her death?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, because, there were multiple days that passed in between, and just because someone let them out of the facility doesn't mean they were the ones that snuck out to kill her.
Mm.
I don't know, that's a leap to me, but whatevs.
Well, I don't think anybody snuck out of the facility to go kill her. I think she did. Didn't she,
You really legitimately think she got killed by aliens?
I don't know. Maybe.
She was found a mile from the facility, so I thought maybe someone snuck out and did her in before she could tell everyone the truth and ruin the council's plan.
Right.
I don't know. To be determined, I guess, because it was a violent death, but...
Right. Hey, welcome
in. Interesting. We must find out who that person is. The fact that they know how to bypass the security doors is reason enough for me to keep this information from the rest of the council. Mm-hmm. Our residents are basing their current ideologies on this person who's using Persephone's death to further their political agenda. Like I feared, these events are connected and I cannot suffer to let it alone. You may recognize Persephone's field notes. A003 has been distributing these flyers around the facility. It sickens me that he stole Persephone's notes and twisted her words in order to push the lock-in. Because of this, I've given you A004, which is Dr. Fairman, patient notes so that you can try to assess people's true character. His desk was cluttered with papers, but I was able to pick out our major players, and I've included my own profile to help establish trust between us. I know I'm breaching privacy, but I don't have a choice. You may also have noticed that Jeremy has lost his new messenger bag. Oh, so this was the new messenger bag Jordan got for him.
Oh.
Oh. It was in one of the discourse posts from last episode. I saw him skulking around the private quarters. Yeah. What? Go ahead.
I'm trying to remember. Is that what it's called? Discourse? Is that
Discourse. What it is? I keep calling it Discord by accident in my notes, but Discord is what we post on. Yeah. Let's see. Jeremy lost his new messenger bag, so I saw him skulking around the private quarters in Dorm A, collecting and delivering mail slipped under doors. Besides the illegally traded noodle wrapper he's been writing on, there are also 3 letters. One of the letters I surmise to be correspondence between A004 and B013. So that's Cyril, the doctor, and Sister A.
Okay.
So that's going to be this big one, because I saw Proverbs on it. So that's going to be this guy, the bigger one. Okay. They normally talk in person, so it's odd that they'd use extra resources. I've also elected to include correspondence between Jeremy, Alosha, and myself. Okay. The third person, so I'm absolutely confident I know who this is now. I'll finish reading this, but I'm very confident I know who our person is now.
Okay.
Let's see. The third message seems to be an anonymous resident note about Cluster, and it's addressed to you of all people. Have you noticed anyone following you, especially on the NAC system? Why would they write a secret note about game strategy when they can tell you in person? And even more irksome, at risk of sounding hypocritical, the center has decided to write you anonymously. That's awesome. On top of all this, Patricia has been acting strangely. She was supposed to laser cut a replacement emitter chip, but instead she created these circular objects. I asked Patricia what she intended, but she could only say that someone has hidden coding within her NAC's intranet system, and she cannot explain it in words. She said, only when everything can be seen can you see everything. She must know the new backdoor password, and maybe she knows something about Persephone and who helped her. Find out who Persephone trusted, write those letters into Patricia's input command, and type the file names you find in the data cache. So I'm pretty sure this is Layla. I really thought it was Fairmond at first, just because he was conceited and likes to talk about his good hair. But digging through everything in episode 2, I kept finding where Layla would write in large large capitalized font always. Okay. So like in the note with Alosha, she wrote basically let's discuss, but it's all in capital letters, and the font looks very similar.
Right.
So I could still be wrong, but that's my bank. Because in my head, Fairman wouldn't have the ability to change her coding or get us into better levels of security.
Okay.
The therapist wouldn't, and who else would have the high-tech security to be able to do that?
Sure.
Like, she kind of...
I think so. We got a little code name at the bottom. Does the...
What's Layla's last name?
Right, That's
going to tell us right now if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah, it might be the same amount of letters, and then, there's also a...
Woods. It's her.
Yeah.
So, good news. We have some letters that we know words too, so that's good.
So there's one last thing down at the bottom. First, Rec, we are doing fantastic, so I hope you are as well. It says, without moving, we hurt. Without touching, we poison. Truth and lies we bear. Not to be judged by our size are we. What are we?
We don't move, we hurt. If we don't do anything, something happens. We don't do anything, something.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the only thing coming to my mind like a resident? Any sense?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It says, without moving, we hurt. Without touching, poison. And truth and lies we bear, not to be judged by our size are we. Okay. I'm not sure what that one would be.
Either resident or NACs. Like maybe it's the group of them, the survivors. Like, because they haven't moved. They're like in the same facility. But they're going through their supplies.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Okay. Do we want to look at passcode next? Do we want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So chat, if you all want to take a look at and let me know which coded message that you would like to try to start on while we're working on the password. So there is coded message 1, which in Discord is labeled item number 5. And then there's coded message 2 and coded message 3. Let me know which one that you would like to do. And then also there's the noodle packet, which I'm not sure, maybe has some sort of messages on it. There's something about, yeah, there is some stuff that's like poorly, it looks like, done. Because I'm maybe guessing it's like some kind of classified something delivers. I don't know. So noodle packet you can do. Oh, I see what they did. I see what he did. Actually, already on this packet.
It's
I
the
can already
vowels
tell.
are missing, I think,
Yeah,
right?
all the vowels are missing. So it's a way to shorthand stuff.
So what that means, though, is that Jeremy is the one that wrote on the envelope from last episode, that front one that was talking about the black market.
Mhm.
That was also him.
Mm.
So he's the one that was saying basically getting a carton of cigarettes to Matthias is how you keep the
Right.
black market going for another 10 days.
Okay.
So now we kind of know he was the one that wrote out like all the different things that can be traded for and how you acquire stuff through the black market. I was trying to figure out whose handwriting that was, and I had not gotten there yet because I didn't have a sample of his writing, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So that might help with decoding like who certain messages are like from and to and all that stuff. Not sure. Exquisite, do you know which one you would like to do? No preference at all.
All right. Well, hopefully I'll have an answer regarding this one in about 5 more seconds here.
Oh, for that.
Yeah.
Do you want to do? Is there one that you were? Do you want to do the one with Sister Ray?
It don't matter. I'm not, because I have not seen any of them. I'm not emotionally connected to any of them, so I'll take whatever someone else can't figure out or doesn't want.
So, I mean, if there's 3 of you in chat that want to help us solve these ciphers, that would be fantastic. But otherwise, Exquisite, if you want to start on message number 2, that's fine. And then Red Panda might want to do message 1. She was doing a deep dive into Sister A the other day, so maybe might have a little bit more insight to help out with the deciphering. I'm going to go through some of this other documentation while Red Panda is working on the password. I don't remember what the website.
Nextfacility.net.
Okay.
Oh, shoot, I lost track. 1, 2, 3.
Another one.
Question, I did something wrong on this one.
Okay. That's that for now. And our user ID was the same. And okay. And then chat, so the first thing we've got up as well is this health and medical record. So Patient randomized number, looks like. This was on day 1840, so this is after Persephone's death. So let's see. This was a regularly scheduled appointment, not anything beyond that. Let's see. Patient medical summary. So, past psychiatric history. Patient, like many, reports generalized feelings of depression and anxiety. Patient has shown up to monthly appointments and the occasional group therapy session throughout the past 1,840 days. Patient has declined my repeated recommendations of Zolpidem to stabilize her highly irregular sleep schedule, citing her commitment to be available to the Patricia system at all hours. Patient does not appear to pose any physical threat to herself or others. Patient was far less talkative than usual and did not respond to any of my questions or comments for quite some time towards the beginning of our session. Eventually, she asked me if I trusted our fellow council members. I responded that I, of course, did. I asked her to explain her feelings of distrust. She did not elaborate much on these feelings, besides saying that she felt as though certain counselors may be trying to push an agenda through underhanded means. I asked if she was referring to A003's recent behavior. She responded that she was not, at least not entirely. She did not elaborate further.
Just so you know, I'm going to need help.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and finish what you're doing.
No, you're good.
We're going to need help.
I just finished up that paragraph, so let me take a look.
I mean, you can finish that page.
Oh, okay.
But just when you're done, I will need you.
Yeah. So, comments, concerns. I worry that having an espionage-oriented AI system and A002 as her primary social outlets may be having a negative effect on the patient. So, all right, let's take a look at this password card. Rule 10, trading of food items is prohibited. No misuse will be tolerated. Always keep the Nexus facility rules in mind before logging into the internal Nox server. Okay. So you tried shifting forward by 10 and you tried shifting back by 10?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and neither one of them works? Wrong. I got Jonah Nasali or Yejuf.
Okay.
And since the last two created very obvious words, I think I'm somehow not doing this right.
Okay.
So I just thought you could check me since you can use the circle wheel and I cannot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something's just not working.
Okay,
Either that or something's different where it's not by 10, it's by something else, and they're screwing with us because it's the third one. We already know what we're doing by now.
Okay, so shifting forward by 10.
10, rule 10, so...
Yeah, so shifting forward by 10.
Yeah.
So that gives A equals K.
Yep.
Is that what you have?
Yep.
Okay, and everything is good. There's no
I double checked it twice, okay. But it seems like
shifting back by 10. We're talking 1, 2, 3.
Maybe we have to. Maybe it's an anagram.
7,
We gotta
8, 9,
out
and
the word.
10. A equals Q.
Yep.
Okay, and you tried typing in what you got.
I did, but it wouldn't take it on this. You can try.
Okay, can I see
on
it?
There, but
or can I? Yeah, if you wanted to tell me what it is, that's fine too.
You just tell me what you want. Tell me when you're ready.
Yep, go right ahead.
JONASSALE. I think just wouldn't do anything, so something tells me it's wrong. So I haven't tried to capitalize, but it doesn't make a word. So something's telling me maybe that we have to. Maybe there's some kind of extra step where we need to word. Let me go ahead and finish this other one. It's just the DIHUMMUF isn't working either, so I don't understand.
Okay.
I mean, do you want to read these letters off to me, or do you want me to read that letters off to you and see if you come up with the same things I am?
I mean, it makes Jonas Sale. Technically 2 words switch together. Jonas Sale.
Yeah, but I don't recognize that word from anywhere. And it's not working, correct?
Yeah.
I was just going to try a scrambling app just in case. But
yeah, that's fine.
S Probably seasonal.
Do you have the book with all the rules? Maybe there's something because I mean this is just like a summary of the rules, so I'm wondering if there might be something.
So it just said book, or it just said Rule 10. So that's the number I was going off of. It says
Oh,
Rule
yeah,
10.
no, Rule 10 is literally just trading of food
Yeah.
items is prohibited.
Try the word prohibited. Maybe we're just, I don't know. Maybe we're missing something here. Let me try this other one. DIH. Did I ever finish it? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is there anything like beyond a
6,
shift
7,
cipher? Is there
8,
anything
9,
that's like to do with like
Okay.
trading of things, like trading of letters around?
Sorry, what?
Is there anything like beyond a shift cipher? Is there anything that is a cipher where it involves trading, like trading of letters or trading of words?
The only thing I'm trading would be from the black market. I do not know.
No, cipher specific. So, is there any cipher type of cipher that involves trading of letters?
By letters, you mean physical, like alphabetic letters, or
Yes.
like physical letters, like a code someone
No,
types?
letters like the alphabet. We're trying to decipher stuff. So, like right now, we're shifting letters of
Right.
the alphabet. So, like, I don't know if there was something to do with like trading. Is there a what was the one?
I mean,
Isn't
there's
there?
like an Adabash that's flipped on itself. There's the Caesar shift, which is what we're trying right now.
What about Adabash?
That's where it folds back on itself, so it ends up being 13. You move it 13.
You shifted by 13 essentially.
Pretty much, but basically it folds in on itself. If you type in Adabash anywhere, it'll pop up and it'll have an example. It's like A
Okay.
basically.
A equals N.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So what?
And then N would also equal A. It's like flipped
Okay.
on itself, but it's like half and half.
So
But like the Ada, like that though, there's nothing. Of course, like everything in the past with these, you shift it one way or the other by the number on
right,
this
but
code.
like you said, this is episode 3, and maybe it's something different.
Right.
And since the word
I was thinking if
traded
you
is-
could chase that route for a second, I just want to back up and just recheck.
Yeah,
I'm just
that's
going to
fine.
descramble the second one. I still haven't double
Okay.
checked.
So let me
I'm
grab
trying to explain too much to you. I'm not able to get these last
Yeah,
two
you're good.
letters. I'm sorry.
Okay.
1, 2.
I'm gonna grab a post-it note and start writing some down. Okay. Let's see.
You want to try a different one? I apparently have the
Okay.
last letter wrong.
Okay.
I still don't think it means anything, but
Yeah, no worries. What's up? Which one?
okay. So try JONAS
Jonas.
SALK. Oh, do you?
Yeah, it makes me like it won't let me hit enter if it was wrong.
Oh, how fascinating. Oh, let me know when you're ready. JONAS SALK.
That's it. Jonas Salk. It's probably a name.
But it's a name I don't recognize at all.
I know, but it might be
Yeah.
some kind of name or something.
So, okay. So I just screwed up on the last letter because I was trying so hard and this wasn't making sense that I looked at the wrong answer. That's what I was worried about. Like, 'cause I did it so quickly, I was like worried that maybe I just rushed it and did it stupid.
Oh, it's okay.
So, feeling
Simple
silly
things.
now.
Okay.
I was just like, it wouldn't make sense to go that crazy hard different. You know what I mean? So I was like,
Right.
feeling insane. I was like, this is not working. All right. So
We're on patient, the health and medical record page.
do I need to be working on cracking something, or is everybody working on cracking something?
Exquisite is working on letter 2, so if you would like to work on one of the
Unfortunately, 'cause
letters.
I don't know which letter's which. You tell me
Well,
which
sorry,
one's
I'm
which.
going to tell you what I labeled them as.
Oh, okay, that sounds fine.
So
Yep, you're good.
this
I-
was,
Yep.
I labeled this as label 1 or as message 1, and then I did this as message 2,
okay,
and this
so
was
the
message 3.
number 2, and then who's doing what then?
Exquisite is doing message 2 right now.
So let me just put X for that one. Okay. So the others are still up for grabs then?
Correct.
Okay.
Do either or. Yeah, what's up, Exquisite? What question do you have? Take a look at. We'll pull up message 2. There's a word you can't read. Okay.
Oh, maybe I can look at that.
Where at?
I have horrible handwriting, so.
No, you're good.
Well, I thought she said she couldn't read it, like it's messy.
Oh, yeah,
is that correct?
sorry. Oh.
I was good because I read messy writing all the time. I thought I could look at it really quick.
Wind the clock. Modded for 36 seconds. Okay. And. Pretty sure that's and.
Why am I seeing bind? That could be about or hat. No, no. You're right. The second's hand. That would make total sense. Wait, is it hand?
No, I think it. No, I was thinking and, like just the word and.
But why the capital letter?
Because it's the start of a sentence.
You start sentences with the word and?
I mean, not normally, but
okay.
I don't know. Maybe it is hand, but that's kind of, it doesn't make sense though. Hand, we lovers of fate. But and I was thinking, and we lovers of fate may exchange key information.
Yeah. You could always pull up the cheat page really quick just to make sure the correct word, just so that she's not wasting time on something that's not correct. Yeah, that's hard to read. That first letter doesn't make any sense at all.
Find it. This is under. I can't find it in here, but yeah, it makes sense. It doesn't have that part in here for the hints.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Doesn't have like the handwritten letter
because that part, none of this is coded up here.
Huh.
So none of that's in the hints or reveals.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting.
So
okay.
Okay, perfect. Okay. And you're working on letter. Which one are you starting with?
I said 3. Number 3 is the one I'm working on.
Perfect. Okay, so Red Panda's working on encoded message number 3. No, you can't. Well, I mean, you can. The reveal portion, probably. But the whole thing, no. The problem is that, unlike the newer episodes, and this is why I haven't given you all the password to be able to get into the hints and reveals page, is because it's not set up the way the newer pages are. So the newer boxes that Hunt a Killer did, the hints and reveals are able to be collapsed. You're able to look at just the hints, and then later, if you want to look at the reveals, you can look at the reveals. And then there's also stuff that they did that was as well nowadays, where it is accessibility. So they will the complete coded message, they will have it transcribed already, so that if you can't read the handwriting on the paperwork, then you can read it on that. Unfortunately, this is a much older episode of stuff, and so those things are not set up that way on their site right now. Their hints and reveals page, you have to be very careful on, if you go to use it, because it's literally in order and everything's already exposed. You cannot collapse it down. It literally will show you hint for like a hint one, a hint two, a hint three, and then show you the reveal. It doesn't like move the reveals to the bottom of the page. It doesn't do any of that stuff. So that's the only bummer side of it. I mean, I love what Hunter Killer has done, as far as like how far they've come with the stuff. It's so fun though to do some of these older episodes and the stories, because the stories are still fantastic. And these ciphers are crazy. But yeah, there's a few things here and there that we've had to adapt to because we came to get used to like their newer stuff, and so learning the differences between their newer stuff and their older stuff has been interesting. So, and we'll towards the end, once we're done with episode 5, when we do our review about Earthbreak Omega Protocol, that'll probably be one of the things that we talk about as well. Is that to just be aware of that if anybody goes to use those hints and reveals section that has this episode and doing it, just be very careful because you could end up spoiling it for yourself of what the answers are. So lucky for me, I don't read too good. And I don't read very fast. So for me, it's much easier for me to go in and look at like just the top portions without even catching like parts of the other portion. Okay. So we're on page 2 of the patient what was it? Patient notes. So the health and medical record. So page 2. Now we're talking. It looks like this was so the first one was appointment number 53 on day 1840. This is the next one. It looks like it's a different patient. Yeah, so this is a different patient. This is on the same day. However, this is appointment number 334 for this person. Uh, Patient has presented symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder since day 3. Patient tends to isolate himself and experiences trouble sleeping. He frequently expresses feelings of doubt, of self-doubt, paranoia, and shame. Prolonged discussions of the virus often trigger severe flashbacks to the sealing of Lab C. In addition to weekly psychiatric appointments, patient was prescribed sertraline in the quantity of 150 milligrams a day from day 50 through day 1542. However, an increasingly unreliable supply chain led to the patient ceasing treatment. The patient does not appear to pose any direct physical threat to himself or others at this time. Patient showed himself into my office several minutes early. We discussed his pervasive feelings of anxiety regarding the upcoming vote. Patient discussed his urge to educate the residents of the base on the correct path to take. He began describing his feelings of mistrust toward many residents in the base and for A001, 002, and B13 in particular. When I asked him to expand on why he did not trust 2 of his fellow council members, he spoke only in vague terms. I asked if he trusted myself and A7. He responded that he considered me a good therapist and that he considered A7 to be a great leader. I did not miss the implication in his words. I began to ask him to elaborate on his opinions, but before I could press further, our session was interrupted by A7 himself at 0855. Despite the rather polemic public face he presents, the patient is highly suggestible. In the past, he has often questioned his actions and has craved the approval of others as a source of validation. I am frankly surprised that he is leading the initiative for the lock-in as strongly as he is, despite the disapproval of myself, A1 and A2, towards his recent demeanor. However, the patient did see a steep decline in his overall mental status in the days immediately following the disappearance and death of B5. Perhaps the experience spurred him to take on more initiative than is typical. I believe that the patient genuinely wants what is best for the base, but I have some reservations as to his capacity to fill his role as counselor. Okay. We've got 3 more pages after that of stuff. We don't really know who's who at this point. I'm sure we could demise it. All these appointments are on the same day. This person with night terrors relating to certain creatures and events witnessed outside the bounds of the facility. Patient arrived for this session 5 minutes early. Noticed this when his silhouette became evident through the frosted glass of my office door around 8:55. Okay, so this is A007.
Sorry, I'm not listening at
You're
all
good.
because I'm trying to deal with this. It's a hard one.
Okay.
Sorry.
I
So
can't
if you
remember
need something. Oh,
No, you're good.
Shepherd is A007.
No, you're good. I couldn't remember whether I had these printed off or not, and I don't for me. So
What are you looking for?
I was just gonna have you write it on your packet.
For what? Like where I didn't know. I
You're
don't
good.
know what's going on.
You're good. That's what I was explaining.
Yeah, you're good.
So in your packet,
Yep.
Look for the medical records,
Okay.
and you're gonna go on to page 3.
Okay.
And page 3, that is A007. This is all about A007. So.
I thought you were asking who that was. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I just wanted to make sure we had it annotated somewhere of like who that specifically was for.
Sure.
Because since I figured that part out. Okay, so A007, the early arrival whispered something to the previous client who was on the way out as they passed by one another. Message 2 is a disc cipher. Maybe that's what this is. I don't know.
This, I think, has to do with the LOSHA, because this got printed out so we
Okay.
can help with the LOSHA's backdoor. Remember?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that has to do with the LOSHA's code. I could be wrong, but that's
That
my
makes
theory.
sense.
Because last month it was the letters that were on the items that she printed out on plastic.
Hmm.
So that most likely has to do with the LOSHA's backdoor password.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Usually the code is in it. Like mine, I'm pretty sure is a 2-square key code. I just don't know how to do it yet, which is what I'm figuring out.
Okay.
It's like in your thing somewhere should be a clue to like what the kind of type of code is to help figure it out further.
Makes sense. Okay. So message 2 is a disk cipher. That's this one here. Okay. And then we got message 3 as well that is available for anybody that wants to do it. Or no, you're working on message 3. Message 1 is available as well for anybody in chat that would like to help us out. Let's see. Okay. But A7 feels that nobody truly understood him. Only moment when the patient expressed interest in our session was when I broached the subject of our upcoming vote, as he has been silent on that matter publicly and in official meetings. I asked if he had been experiencing stress over the magnitude of the decision. He spoke at length about how he had come to the conclusion that a lock-in would be the most beneficial course of action. He questioned me regarding my own intended vote. I reminded the patient that our session was geared towards him. He smiled very personably and told me he knew that I was smart enough to see things his way, even if I wasn't ready to just yet. He said that everyone would have to see things his way soon enough. Okay, so we now know that A7 plans to vote towards the lock-in.
So him and Matthias are working together, which is what I was kind of assuming based off of everyone. I think that coded letter in the last episode
Mm-hmm.
between the unknown and him was Matthias and A007.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but it just had to do with why haven't you put your full weight behind me and all this
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Like the person was like, we have to be very strategic, and I don't want to do too much at once. And he was trying to play both sides of the fence until he was sure it would work out in his favor. I think.
Okay. Let's see. Day prior. So day prior to this, we have another appointment from somebody. Let's see, 9144. That's so far 9144 right here. Hold on. 131. Same. It is. Phone number. How does that make sense? Hold on. Grade 9129. One day apart, and there's that many appointments.
A few of the people for Cyril Fairman are like obsessed with him, like
Well, right,
messed up,
but
like
to
obsessed with him.
go from over the course of 24 hours and
Yeah.
to increase by almost 100 appointments,
Oh, I don't know.
how is that? I don't think that's even like how would that even be possible?
Good question.
So yeah, this number matches 0891. Yeah, that number matches. So on day
Maybe
1840,
maybe we only have like a small amount of them.
well, right, but what I'm saying though is that so on day 1840,
Yeah.
this was appointment number 334
Okay.
for this person.
Yeah.
On day 1839, it was appointment number 243. So almost 100 appointments. So this patient came in for 100 almost 100 appointments between 3 p.m.
Yeah,
on
that
day
sounds weird.
1839 and 8:30 a.m. on day 1840. So less than 24 hours.
Yeah,
Less than
super weird.
less or a little over 12 hours. I mean, it's less than 24 though. That's so weird.
It is super weird. Maybe someone's hacking the information. Maybe someone's
Maybe.
tweaking records. Who knows? Like,
Okay.
unfortunately, this is a doozy of one. I picked a horrible one to try to deal with.
Okay, the session went as they usually did, with myself and the patient playing a game of chess as we spoke about his awesome. Okay. Let's see. Thank you, Exquisite. Session went as they usually did, with myself and patient playing a game of chess as we spoke about his feelings. Patient was far more interested in our game than our conversation, which is not irregular. However, halfway through the session, he said, unprompted, that he missed B5. I replied that I missed her as well. Patient asked if we were all going to die. I replied that all people die at some point. He asked if we were all going to die soon. I replied that I did not know. The patient spent the rest of our session playing out the game in silence and left at 3:30 before the game had concluded. Patient's young age at the onset of day 0 appears to have had both positive and negative effects on his long-term development. In general, he appears to have adapted to subterranean life with greater ease than many adults in the facility. So yes, that's definitely Jeremy. Uh, let's see. I have a theory that the patient has cultivated a learned helplessness of sorts since he has relied on older residents for help, and they have thus become a reliable source of attention and care. Recent events have made his cultivated innocence somewhat untenable, and he seems to be struggling to cope with the implications of that conflict. I hear the patient will have to do a fair amount of growing up very soon. Okay. That doesn't sound like the same patient as this other one.
Maybe it was a typo. Are there two different ones? Or it was just. Who are you describing? Because honestly, I'm failing miserably.
Jeremy.
I'm failing miserably at
Okay.
this. I can't.
So
I have no
Jeremy.
idea.
So
I know what type of a cipher it is, but no code I type in unciphers it.
yeah.
So we're gonna have to just cheat because I'm really irritated by it at this point. Oops, sorry.
Okay, no worries.
So give me something I
we
can
can take a look
actually
at the
do.
hints. Yeah.
Are you trying to figure out somebody? 'Cause I could use something like I could use a win.
So
right now.
it's just that thing that's not adding up. So on page
Well, maybe they're different people.
on page 2
Yep.
is the first one.
Yep.
And then page 4 is the second one. It has a matching number.
So 3 and 4, page 2
Page
and 4.
2 and 4
match
have the same
numbers.
patient number. And this is the one I was talking about where on page 2, it says that it's appointment number 334 at 8:30 a.m. But then, yeah, page 4 says that it's appointment number 243.
And they're both regularly scheduled appointments. This one was 8:30 to 9. Okay. Do you know who this is yet or not?
No. Well, we know Jeremy is on page 4.
Okay, no worries.
So page 4 is definitely Jeremy.
I have not listened to anything, so I'm jumping in, and I don't want to like read something and say, "Oh, this is obviously this person." You guys know we already figured that part out.
Yeah. So we do not know for page 2 though. We just know that page 4 is Jeremy.
Okay.
So
because Jeremy wouldn't have been. So this can't be Jeremy because Jeremy would not have been in the facility for the Lab C quarantine. Jeremy arrived on day 27.
Okay.
He survived like an obscene amount of time out there on his own for being sick.
So
So it
it's
cannot
probably
be
just
Jeremy.
a mistype with the patient number at the top then.
Few signs of mental stress. Oh wait, here never mind. Following the death of Randall Wheeler. So no, that does sound like Jeremy.
Well, this one is Jeremy. That's page 4.
Oh crap! I'm on the wrong one. Sorry. That makes sense. Yes, because Randall Wheeler died, so that makes total sense. Yeah, the PTSD from day 3. That cannot be Jeremy because he was not in the building at that time.
Yeah. So okay.
So psychiatric appointments.
Let's take a look at some hints first, Exquisite, before we.
Oh, this is probably Matthias. It's talking about a drug quantity, but they're having trouble getting it. This is probably Matthias.
Okay.
Because remember I was telling you he was on the SSRI per Alosha's backdoor notes
about
the lifeline. Does that make sense as far as everything else?
Okay, so this is the one you're working on, right? Is this one?
No.
The Dear Alosha?
No.
Which one are you doing?
I'm on this.
Okay, so the other side of that one.
And so maybe I'm on the wrong side. Maybe I should have started with a different side then. Maybe I started on the back side.
I don't know which which side's which. So let's take a look at the hints for this.
Because I was basically doing it says a 2-square keyword cipher. So like I was doing that, but no matter what program I used, it was not deciphering anything. Even with the keywords, which are key and word, it wasn't working.
Okay, so maybe it is supposed to be starting with the other side first.
So that's probably it. It was just stapled in my packet, probably backwards.
Coded message number 2. So it says pay attention. The hint number 1A is pay attention to keywords that Jeremy and Alosha use in their correspondence.
Well, never mind then.
Alosha also likes to turn numbers into letters.
So I guess let me look at it more, because the problem is I was using the backside of the page, which keeps saying the word keyword cipher, and so I thought the keywords were key and word. Because like in every example online, key and word are the two used for the 2 different codes that you then put in, but it was not working, and so if that wasn't the type of cipher, I was at a loss. So basically we have to find the words that they're using, because we have to find 2 different words that are like used to create the key, if that makes sense, and then those are how it translates.
Yeah. So it says so just pay attention to keywords that Jeremy and Alosha use in their correspondence. And then looking at the note, it looks like Jeremy is using Pig Latin.
Okay, so that's why. Well, why is he saying griefing? Grief F isn't in grieving.
Yeah, because like down here, like that looks like it's saying "Osse," so I saw someone. I encoded it like you said. I only know the Latin one, so Pig Latin.
Okay, you can talk about anything. Please encode your message. Oh, okay, so he's saying he
Yeah.
only knows Pig
So
Latin.
that's all in Pig Latin. So that's what that is. He's saying grieving because he's a kid.
Instead of grieving. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's just a grammatical thing. Okay. It's so funny how some people can read Pig Latin so easily.
I mean, part of it I can. Like,
This next one, the Atway,
some of it I
Ide,
can't,
Uye,
though.
Ise, I got
Yeah.
nothing.
uh,
Okay, so he's responding back to Jeremy.
Losha, yeah.
With
So
Pig
Alosha
Latin.
and Jeremy are going back
Yeah.
and forth. So it starts with Dear Alosha, and that's from Jeremy. Then it goes addressed to Jeremy. And then below that is Jeremy writing back, even though he didn't sign. So this is Jeremy.
Yeah.
And then this is Alosha, and then this is Jeremy.
Okay, so I get it. So what did you see? What did you see?
Yep. There you go.
I just realized how you take away the Pig Latin. You take
The
off the A
A.
and the Y.
Mhm.
No, you take off the A and the Y.
Right. Yeah. Which
I didn't know that. I thought
Yeah.
there was something else to it. I thought you like split the word in half and flipped them on
Mhm.
each other. So-
I was saying it as A, as in like AYA.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I'll say right.
So he saw someone. He just says he saw someone. That's all he says.
Yeah. So I saw someone. I encoded it like you said. I only knew the Latin one. What did you say, or what did you see, Jeremy? A man.
Aim.
Yep. So I think it's because he got part of it. A man came out.
Does she already have it? Because if so, you can just read it.
Because basically, I think you take the first letter and move it to.
Yeah, but on the word starting with an A, what is that third from the end? Is that an L? Oh yeah, Lila's. L. If you move the L up, Laila, and then yeah, so Lila's. That is an L. Okay. SERV.
There you go.
Oh, it's out of Lila's server's room.
Okay.
And then while I delivered morning?
Yep.
Or morning?
Morning.
I don't think this kid can spell very well. He definitely hasn't been taught very well. Mail.
I mean, grew up in a
Yeah.
bunker. All right.
Well,
so,
no one's really his parent. I couldn't. Does someone else already have this? I couldn't.
It says he's doing Pig Latin wrong, which makes it harder.
So this is actually wrong, Pig Latin, because I'm like, I always thought Pig Latin was different than this. You just have to literally take the A and the Y off.
It says while I delivered, Lila's server room while I delivered morning mail.
Who?
Yeah.
Who it saw? Okay, did I miss something?
I couldn't see who it saw. No one is up that early. Yeah, it's probably just
instead of I saw or something. Yeah, okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, no one is up that early before the day lights. Oh, so this is before the daylights come on. It's in the manual it said like the rules are that lights will be on and off at these times unless sun up or sundown, and then it changes slightly. So he's saying before like the automatic lights come on.
Thank you as well, Susan.
Oh, did she get it all?
Yeah, because it was right. You guys were like literally like as you were saying it, she was typing it, or like as she was typing it, like you were saying it. Like it was just you were both literally like.
Did she really say I couldn't see who it saw?
Yeah, that's what Exquisite came up with as well.
Okay.
I couldn't see who it saw. No one is up that early.
He probably meant who I saw. I couldn't see who I saw. No one's up that early before the daylights come on. So he does not specify it's male or female. I can see that at least. Or no, it does say a man. Okay, so it was a man. So Layla's not an option. There's 4 men in the council. Okay. All right. So the problem though is there a specific word he uses in that multiple times that we need for the second part of all this? Because on the back side, you said something like you said that we have to look for keywords, right?
Oh, or it could be, like Susan said, it could be that it was supposed to be was instead of saw. But Jeremy did it wrong. So it may have been like who it was instead of who I saw.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of like that they made mistakes, even though it's really annoying because it's confusing. But are you still understanding though? Like we're looking for keywords, is what you told me a minute ago.
Correct.
For the next side of this, but
I don't know if that's for the next side of it. I only read you the hint for 1A. So
that's what it was. It was a hint on there, not on here.
The Latin one refers to this in this coded message to Pig Latin. Jeremy and Alosha communicate in Pig Latin. So,
the other side's not in Pig Latin. It's between Layla and Alosha.
Okay.
Oh crap! Do I need to look up? I'm stupid.
Hold on, I can get you the hint. So coded message number 2 on 2A. So look at the note Alosha leaves for Lila. So this note is
this is from
to Lila, but from Alosha to Lila.
Yeah.
So look at the note Alosha leaves for Lila just before he begins encoding words. It contains a clue to the type of cipher he is using. Within the code, think about what typically comes after a number. So let me take a look.
Within the code?
Look at my correspondence with Jeremy. It has raised big red flag with me. I know only you and I have access to that room, so I went through my account activity again. I could not get it out of my head. Remember, each word is 2 square, key and word. Turns out my something, okay. It was 2 square.
So I typed in 2 square cipher online. And what it came up with is that you need 2 different words that are both keywords that you use to build the cipher squares that you then translate it from.
Okay. Look at my...
But what I'm reading below that is not at all matching the type of 2 square code that I found online.
Mm-hmm.
So something of there is not matching what I'm finding online, which means that there's different types of 2 square codes. And so we may just have to cheat and just read it off, because I can't read the words from here. But
okay.
What that's saying is not what I'm finding online for a 2 square cipher. I just can't read all of it enough without your space.
You're okay. I will get you the hints. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to read it as well and look at it. Okay, so hint number 2A, look at the note. We already read that part. Hint number 2B. So,
sorry, he zoomed in for everyone who just saw my reaction just now.
So hint 2B, Alosha says each word is 2 square. This is a clue to use a 2 square cipher. The number is a hint that capitalized letters are numbers. Capitalized letters in his message correspond to a number according to where the letter is in the alphabet. For example, A equals 1, B equals 2, and so on, where J equals 10 and becomes simply 0 when encoded.
Wait, what?
So in your message, there is ones with a pound sign.
Yeah, so I found the pound sign. There's one there, and there's one like here. But I'm not understanding how that has to do with this 2 square code keyword.
Because this means that, so the number is a hint that the capitalized letters are numbers. So these are not letters, these are numbers. So A is 1, J would be 0, E is 4.
Sorry, wait.
So 1, 0, 4. So AJE is this right here.
Why would J be 0?
Because it says that J where it equals 10 and becomes simply 0 when encoded. So when you look at on a keyboard, like 1 through 0, you go 1 through 9 and then you hit 0.
Okay.
So it counts as like on my mouse, like I have a number 10. If I push the number 10 on my
we don't keep the pound sign. It's just saying AJE is really 1
0 4. Yep. So that's that part. I'm
just still like QRMO. I kept trying the easier one, but if you Google 2 square ciphers, you see what I'm talking about, because it's not making sense.
Right here, I think. So let's look at.
Like if you literally
It looked familiar to this.
What?
I think it's password because something it like something has changed. So I think it's something password. I think that's turns out my password for something. So if you know that's password, that might help you.
So are you just ignoring the 2 square part completely at this point?
I'm right now because we don't know
Yeah.
what it is. So I'm guessing that word is password. Because of the way that sentence reads with all the coding, it says something about something changed, and
Someone basically used his login in the server room at the same time he was logged in the office
okay,
on a specific night. We don't know which night, but it was what was included in episode 2's like log of the day. Like Layla was somewhere, Alosha was somewhere, but Alosha was logged in 2 different terminals at the same time. So if he was in his room, someone else was using his login information in the server room to do something.
okay,
Is what he's saying. I
Yeah.
don't understand how to break his code at this point. I'm fine just cheating because this is going to end up
Okay,
dragging
that's fine.
out really long.
Yeah.
And I'm so freaking
coded
irritated right now.
message, hint number, or sorry, next up is a reveal. So
And that's fine. I'm at this point just ready for an answer.
if you're watching this on YouTube and you do not want this as a spoiler and you want to figure this out yourself, just know that we're going to go ahead and read it off straight from the reveal page just to try to help keep things moving along. So the reveal is that the message will read, turns out my password for room 1105 surveillance has changed. I did not do that. I had to override more security protocols. New password is now 1439. Something is going on. I want to find what he is hiding.
So we were wrong. How do we screw this up?
How do we screw what up?
The number 1105 we had is 104. How did we screw that up?
Maybe I read it wrong? Oh, this is why, because they have on here A is 0 rather than 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where I messed up. So A is 1. I got that right, but then I just looked on here to try to cheat without counting, and I was off by 1 because this has A is 0.
So the E was a 5?
E is 5, not 4. So
okay.
That was my fault.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So how do we still get 4 numbers out of 3 letters, though?
Because the pound sign is basically what I'm looking at reading this is that the pound sign is a 1.
I want to understand how they're assuming we're going to know this, though.
I don't know. Okay. Without sitting here and actually solving it, which we said we weren't going to do. So
they just didn't give you what you needed because what they kept referring to is a code that was not working.
Yeah.
You read from I did not do that on for me.
Yeah. I had to override more security protocols.
Hold on. Override more security. Okay.
Yeah. New password.
Now ADC1. Okay, so that responds to a different type of code.
1439.
Okay.
Something is going.
To find what? Something?
Yeah, I want to find what he is hiding. Find what he is hiding.
What he is. Talking about Shepard or Matthias?
I don't know.
Yeah. So the questions are: Shepard showed up to the facility, like supposedly transporting the prisoner / the hacker with him to the facility. So he's bringing the bad guy to the facility. The bad guy magically just dies, and so Shepard shows up with nobody and gets in somehow because a lot of people refuse to take part in the council. He gets to become in the council. So Persephone passed, Anton the botanist passed. So somehow Shepard goes from a nobody out in the facility FBI guy to like in charge of and part of the head honchos of this facility. It just screams dirty because he's the one that claims this guy died. But Alosha keeps saying the same hacker from before is the only one who's ever done what this new hacker currently is now doing. But how can that happen if the guy is dead? So like Shepard's story stinks to me.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
We don't know what that is exquisite as far as like that's the whole point. That was why we had to go ahead and do the reveal and look at it. Was because we could not figure out what the keyword or the key. It says that it's split into two, key and word. So I don't know. We don't know what those were. To be able to figure it out.
And that's the problem, because if you type in the 2-square keyword cipher, like the example they give has key and then word,
right?
And it does the grid, and I follow that grid, and I still couldn't get anything to work. And
right, because we don't know what the two words were that we were supposed to be using.
I assumed it was key and word. Like I thought that's what he was. Right. So that's the problem, though, because we don't know what his. Yeah. So they just didn't give you the right information to be able to solve that, in my opinion. Right. It was just really irritating. I'm sorry, I got frustrated.
If Chad, or if anybody watching on YouTube later, if you know, like what that was, like if you know where that information was supposed to be found, or if you know what words were being used for that, feel free comment down below or put it in the chat. Let us know so that we can, so others can figure out kind of what it was as well, of where to search. Because definitely, definitely a difficult cipher to try to figure out.
Well, it just felt like the information they gave you led you one direction, then that didn't work, so like you were stuck with where to go from there. It became
very frustrating, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so message number 2
is that the one Exquisite did?
Yes. So message number 2, Exquisite did this one.
Besides which?
New
cluster rules.
So new cluster rules. I wind the clock 3 times. It ticks away the seconds. 36 hours is 36 seconds. How in the world could it be anything else? Tick, tick, tick. Wind the clock, modded for 36 seconds, and we lovers of fate may exchange key information. So she was able to figure this out. It says, it feels good to be seen. It feels good for you to see my good works. Now see what I will do. It was fun to see you speaking with Patricia. Finding a way into Alosha's data cache. It was fun while it lasted, but your time is ticking away. Exquisite, were you able to figure out side 2?
Is that in the Discord?
What Exquisite put in? Yes. Yeah.
Just so that you don't have to keep rereading it to me.
No worries. So it says, please believe me when I say that this, and then Exquisite's going to figure out page 2 for us.
No worries. How did she figure out how to break the code? I'm just curious. Again, spoilers if you don't want to know.
Let's see. She put that up in the chat earlier.
Sorry, because I was trying to do the other code. This is what I don't like about trying to do one thing. I miss out on everything else. Will I be able to see the chat later on the video or not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So something clock. Hold on. Modded clock 30 seconds.
Maybe I thought she put it in there, but I didn't see it. 36 for the discs. She said it was a disk cipher, and that she used 36 for the disk cipher.
Is the disk cipher? Did you figure out the disk part because it kept talking about a clock and it's a circle? Give her a second to let her solve that. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna pull this up really quick so I can.
Okay. So while we're working on that, she says yes.
Did you make it through all the patient files? I'm not going to be able to keep working on the passwords because I'm missing out on all the other information by doing it.
Stressed out, post-apocalyptic stress, PAS, has the potential to affect each and every one of us. Let's see. I wonder if seeds and plant are your keywords.
I'll try it in my
because this is Doctor Notes and is
But if it's Doctor Notes, it was Alosha and
I don't know.
Lila. I thought that I can try it in a minute. I was just realizing though that I'm pretty sure this is Shepherd.
that Shepard is writing to us?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know why. He keeps talking about his good works, and now we can see what he can do. And it was fun to speak with Patricia, or too fun to see you speaking with Patricia, finding a way into Alosha's data cache. It was fun while it lasted, but your time is ticking away. It sounds like it's slightly a threat, but also like acknowledging that we can see him. I don't know. To me, this screams like basically it screams whoever the hacker is. Which, if we're going off of what I already thought, which is the handwriting looks the same as the Shepard Matthias message, then it makes me lean towards Shepard was the hacker the entire time, and he got the case file about himself because he's so high in the FBI he could manipulate that, right?
That makes sense. So it looks like as of day 1841 overall, Jeremy's like online poll thing is that there are 13% undecided, 28% is anti-lockdown or lock-in, and there are 59% is pro-lock-in. So bit of a difference there. It means that definitely a shift in the dynamics of everyone from day 1834. At that point, everyone was much more geared towards anti-lock-in, and it's now shifted quite a bit. So, interesting.
So now everyone's pro-lock-in, which goes with what Alosha was complaining about in the last episode, where he was going, Sister A is using this time to manipulate everybody into trying to leave the building. But, on the other side of that, Matthias specifically is trying to use Persephone's death to scare the crap out of everybody into wanting to lock the door today. Like right now. Like this very second. Like even in the discourse, like Cyril had to like call out Matthias and go, hey, stop pushing your political agenda in the discourse. That's not okay. We have not voted yet. Nothing's official. Like, this is not okay, because he kept pushing his own agenda on everybody, trying to sway their opinion. And he's trying to basically scare them that don't lock the doors today, the aliens are going to come or the virus is going to come tomorrow.
Right.
So he's trying to use a fear tactic that if it happened to Persephone, it could happen to anyone else. Did anyone work on one yet, by chance? If not, we may need to do some of the other information and come back to it, because I'm still...
we haven't worked on it yet, no.
Yeah, let's maybe go through some of the other info really quick and
then
come back to it. Cause I just mentally, I need a break from it. That last one had me really irritated. Well, the
Makes
problem is
sense.
I picked that one because I thought it'd be easy because I saw the 2 square word part in there. So I was like, oh, that'll be a quick one. No.
Right.
No.
So now that we got this pulled up, chat, it'd be a great time to take kind of a little mental refresher, but by talking about Gen Con real quick. So, because we haven't talked about this, I don't think, since we came back from Gen Con.
We have not done.
But, so in the Discord, you may have seen a picture that we took with the people from Hunt the Killer. The 2 people that we took pictures with are involved with Supernova. And little thing as well that we found out was that the gentleman on the right side of that photo, KC, is one of those who helped develop Earthbreak Omega Protocol and helped make it. Patricia is basically like this AI answering, but this was made before any of like the nowadays stuff like ChatGPT and all this other stuff. So he said that a fun little fact about Patricia is that every answer we're getting and every question that Patricia is able to answer had to manually be thought of and put in to the programming for this. He said that there is over
3,000 responses.
Yeah, there's over 3,000 responses that they programmed in for Patricia.
I do have some of my favorites.
So there was some Easter eggs that he said as well with it, of that you could look up some song lyrics, and Patricia would answer based off of some song lyrics as well. We also found out that if we ask about who certain numbers are, that like A001, it comes back of who that person is.
It didn't work. I tried like
we tried it. It didn't work.
If it did work or someone else figures it out, please let me know. I didn't type that in. What's that?
420.
Did not type that in.
That is smoker friendly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do have a few though. If you guys want to hear a few that I personally say that were my favorites. There was some information that actually was like relevant to the case, which I'll go over in a second. But I have like some of my like top like 10 or 15 songs that are funny. And Are You Gonna Go My Way is a song. And she says, maybe, which way are you going? Can You Feel the Love Tonight? And she says, it is where we are. Do you think I'm sexy is my question. She says, I don't share human preferences for physical attractiveness, but I'm sure you're above average though. Does anybody know what time it is? Which is also a song. She says, Saturday. I think it's the 4th of July, which is from the song. Let's see. How deep is your love? Is the question. She goes, you need to show me.
Oh my.
I say, how do I live? She says, I want to know too. And my absolute favorite to date, who let the dogs out? Hopefully no one. That would be a significant loss of emergency protein. They eat dog.
Oh my gosh. Well, emergency protein. So they haven't had to do that. But that's yeah. But
Yeah.
in the event of absolute
I just got
yeah.
the absolute biggest kick on that one.
So there you go.
Oh,
Okay,
and
so
one more. Should I stay or should I go? And she goes, I'd stay. There's aliens outside. So I have like a list of like 3,000 more songs to try. But this is what I've gotten so far.
And Casey was also kind enough to guide us with Patricia as well. That we found out that
less is better.
Less is more essentially with Patricia, right? So it goes off of specific like keywords that it picks up, and that's what triggers the responses, or at least a smaller phrase of keywords that is what picks up on the responses. So
like I found
an example of
screws her up more.
Right. So like an example would be like instead of asking who is A001, if you literally just type in A001, it pops up the response. And so stuff like that, hopefully will help us with a little bit more on this. So it was really cool. Really, I know there's a little bit of a tangent going off on it. It's still a little bit, quite related, but it was a really cool opportunity and really cool chance that while we were at Gen Con and Hunt a Killer, people were there, that we got to meet Casey and, talk to Casey about stuff as well, and kind of go from there. So, right? We're on tangents. I forgot to turn that off though, so it won't work on this layout. I don't have that put up on this one. There's a redemption I have for my normal overlays that when I go on tangents, they can redeem a channel point redemption, and it causes my little tangent bird to go across the screen all over the place.
Before we jump back into like this episode, because there was a few things I asked her that I thought were pretty legit and had like some information that would matter. And one of them was so the what can I do in inventory was kind of like on like the how to use Patricia protocol thing. So I tried what can I do in the directory, meaning like the online directory where people are.
Okay.
And there's like a council directory specifically, and it said, basically she said, I see you have access to the directory folder. Here the council can keep sensitive information that only they can see.
Okay.
So like the folder we still cannot really get into quite
the council
yet.
Portal.
Is exactly.
Okay. And I just tried getting into council portal again, and it did not allow us. So, yeah. So do you want to go in through, at this point, do we want to go ahead and head into the backdoor area?
There was one more.
Oh, you got one
sorry.
more? No, you're
I really wanted to hit these because they might matter later.
Absolutely.
It took me forever to find these answers to actually work. So
right. Yeah, no, absolutely. Go ahead.
I asked how Persephone died, and I think I said this last time, but then I found a follow-up question that she actually answered. Most of the time she says, I don't know what you're talking about. She said, I do not want to discuss such things. It is none of my concern. So I asked, who killed Persephone? And her response to that was, it seems that I have some new coding that prevents me from discussing this. It is quite frustrating. So somebody has altered her coding so that what she does know, she cannot talk about.
Right.
So I thought that was very interesting. So it has to be someone who, most likely the hacker, is capable enough of altering her coding to prevent her from saying anything.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. So
Absolutely.
I will let us snap back to what we're supposed to be working on.
Snap back to
that
reality.
was a lot of work. Can we
Okay.
just put it simply? To
Yeah.
try to get her to answer questions. She is a pain at answering questions.
Look, I don't do well with Patricia. I start
She's
asking questions and
frustrating.
she just gets mad at me.
There's a reason I write the exact way it worked when I
Yeah.
ask a question, like how it worked, so I can go back because
Right.
it drives me nuts.
So, okay, so in the personnel files, under directory personnel files, we go back to Alexander to see where, we can look at here. One thing we've been able to figure out very quickly is that there is a different coloring when it comes to the names of his children. It's changed each time we do this, but this one right here looks like Alexander Pavlo is that one.
Hold on. Before we get too much further, did Exquisite ever get it finished? She was still working on this.
Oh, yes.
Stuff.
Sorry. You're good.
It's okay if we need to move on. I just was trying to finish what we
started. That was coded message 2. So side 2 says, isn't personal. No matter what you do, no matter what you choose, I will win. First to die is a cluster buster.
I can't get to it. Can you read it one more time?
Isn't personal. No matter what you do, no matter what you choose, I will win. And in parentheses, first to die is a cluster buster. Basically threatening us that we would lose, or we lose the game, basically, or if we die, right? So, in a way, they're threatening us as well.
Gotcha. It sounds like they're saying no matter if we lock ourselves in or stay open, that we're going to get sabotaged from within, basically, is what it's coming across as. Does that seem accurate? Okay. So, it's interesting, though, that we've done enough to get the hacker to directly talk to us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's pretty interesting. Sorry, I got frustrated. These coded messages are like in the level of Hunt a Killer are the hardest messages, and I've dealt with some doozies.
Right.
But these are pretty rough. What are you guys going to now? Are we trying to solve password, or are we trying to solve...
Yes, password.
Password, okay.
Not
Sister A's letter. I get it. Password.
Yeah, and not that password. We're looking at...
No, I know. I was grabbing this, though. I was just curious because the only other thing. I'm putting the stuff we have not done yet in a pile.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
So I can make sure we go back through things that might matter. Sense. Sorry.
Okay.
The organizational side of me kicking
in. Translating.
You figured out everybody else on these. We have all of them.
We don't know who everybody is.
Okay.
No.
All right. I may, once we get through this password, go through and just write everyone down so I can fill everyone in who needs to know. Yeah,
that's fine, Exquisite. If you'd like to work on
that'd be
letter
great.
1.
Yeah. It's a Sister A letter.
So our password for the back to get into the back door of the system, the hint for
Where's
it says,
Where's the little thingy?
Thingy.
The computer chip thing. It's not here. The circular spinny that thing. Thank you.
So it says Arabian Nights guard the door.
Can you type in Arabian Nights into Google? See what it says. I'm trying to see if the same letters are on each thing. So R is on each thing. Okay, so R is on the top and on the bottom. This is Arabian Nights guard the door?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, in Google, is there like a name for an Arabian Night out of curiosity?
There, it says something about it's the story of Jones Ha. So there's a folklore journal, volume 5, The Forbidden Doors of something. Though purely Arab in its present form, it is combined in the Arabian Nights with 2 other tales. Take a look at
something. I'm striking a blank.
So, rotating puzzle works with information in the contact letter. Patricia said, only when everything can be seen can you see everything. So you need to
Get all of
basically
the letters to be seen.
make it so that all letters can be seen.
Okay. There's only
My
a few
guess
on
is
the
there's
top.
only one way that it's going to work to where all letters can be seen.
We're close a minute ago. It was really close to that, I thought, but wish they would include multiple so everyone can play with it.
Right.
This top one, though, I've figured out has 5. And part of me is kind of wanting to draw out each level of it so I can kind of see how they might lay best. Because this top one only has 5.
Trying to see, looking at the image of it, maybe if there was like some kind of like giveaway for it of some way. You know what? There's lines. There's extra lines. So yeah, so I think they somehow line up. Maybe.
Okay, so maybe if we line up the top ones with these below. Or
maybe.
like or with like the next level. Because the problem is it's only on the top layer.
Yeah.
I was noticing that this has 2 here and 3 here for that top layer. So I was trying to figure out with the bottom 2 layers, like how they lay, because they seem to be pretty stuck the way they are.
Yeah.
The top layer seems to be spinning more than the other layers, but that's the best I had figured out. I was just getting ready to write down the letters on each layer, just because I wanted to kind of see.
Makes sense.
I don't know. I was wanting to kind of see what the letters we were dealing with were, if that makes sense. Because she said you need to see all. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
But when all is seen, I just don't understand what the Arabian reference is, I guess.
I'm guessing once we solve this, it'll tell us what it is. Because this got printed off, remember?
Right, no, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my frustration is like I can't figure out, like on some of these I was trying to figure out like how many spaces could fit here. And I was having trouble finding, like, because some of them don't lay over exactly, or you can see the letters, but they kind of overlap slightly. Like, I don't know if that technically counts. Like, I don't know how strict it's going to be. Like, I was trying to figure out what was on each disc so I could see kind of as a puzzle. I was trying to figure out what was on the bottom disc compared to the middle disc compared to the top disc. So I could look at the 3 separate images as a puzzle and be able to put it, like, but because I don't know how to take it apart, I'm stuck.
Yeah, you just want it apart?
I know, yeah. With a puzzle, the best thing to do is to look at each of the pieces of the puzzle individually.
So that's the bottom portion. This is the middle portion.
It even says bottom. That's kind of nice. I just want to do this because then we can both be doing it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because this actually seems freaking hard. And I remember reading about a puzzle in number 3 that was going to be freaking hard, but I didn't know which one it was going to be. So there's that one.
Okay, that's the middle. And this is the top.
Curiosity. I could.
You still think it's related to Aladdin? Yeah?
Maybe a knight?
Maybe. Well, you are working on that one. I'm going to try to read the Sister A one. So I can do something.
Did she figure it out?
Who?
Well, because we still have to figure out Jeremy's letter, too.
I
was just letting you know.
Wait, like, Jeremy's letter? Oh, you're talking about the noodle packet?
Notes. Yeah, the noodle packet notes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I can look at that. So Jeremy's...
But I mean, you can have these back. The whole point is you were wanting to spin them, is I just wanted a copy of them, so I could also be playing with them as well. That's all.
Yeah.
I just thought if I could look at them on paper, I could get a better idea of how many fingers go where. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Makes sense.
Here. Yes.
I do. There you go.
Thank you.
Open Sesame. You want me to try that? Okay, I'll try that.
It actually works.
Nope.
Oh my god, I think I just did
I don't
it.
remember if we had this before.
Babe, I think I just did it.
Did we have the full resident directory before?
Yeah.
We did? Okay.
That's how I created that print off of all the different people that I posted
With all
in the
their
first
names
Discord.
and codes.
Yeah.
You got it figured out?
I thought I did, but it shifted slightly and now I'm questioning it. I think I'm darn close though. Problem is it kind of overlaps slightly in the corner. Technically they're all exposed, but not much.
All right, so Jeremy's noodle packet to do week 271. Start, lock in, pull. Karate lesson with
Alosha.
Losha. Cluster
Okay.
tournament. Ask Jordan for scout training. Appointment with Cyril. Classified mail deliveries is LL to C117.
So LL to C117?
Yeah.
So say that again. So classified mail deliveries what?
LL to C117.
Is I'm assuming that's the threat letter, but what's the LL mean?
That's whoever it's from.
Which could be some kind of a fake name, because obviously Shepard does not end or begin with else, but interesting.
Lila, maybe. Yeah, it's Lila.
Lila did make a threatening letter though.
No, it's not referring to the threatening letter.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's referring to our contact note or something.
Gotcha.
Because it said, because if you take away all the vowels out of Lila, then you're just left with LL.
Okay.
So, and that's what he's been doing. Didn't we have a grid cipher key? Maybe
That's the square one.
The grid cipher key. Oh,
The grid cipher key thing that has to do with.
is that the 2 square?
I think so, but why would Jeremy be talking about that?
No, Exquisite asked, didn't you guys have a grid cipher key over there? I have this.
I use this as just a shift cipher cheat sheet. It's just a quick way because I can't write letters very well to read the alphabet and then see which ones I wrote in under it to shift the letters either direction. So it's technically not a grid cipher. Like if you were looking up like the square cipher stuff online, it's totally different.
All right, and then we've got so week 272 update lock in pull karate lessons with LSH Alosha. Ask Alosha for MP password.
And again.
Ask Alosha for MP password. Yeah. 1439. Can't keep forgetting. Deliver.
Whoa, wait, isn't that his password? Isn't that the password he's changed it to?
Yeah.
Why is Alosha giving Jeremy the person who he quotes?
No. This is Jeremy's notes.
Right.
This is not like it just
But how
says.
does he have Alosha's
Ask
password?
Alosha for what is the MP then?
I don't know, but that other number I could have sworn was the number we just deciphered of Alosha's.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Master Pass? I don't know. He changed it to 1439. That's what you just said, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
So how does Jeremy? He basically calls Jeremy like a leaking sieve. Like he says he
Right.
talks and he's a chatterbox. He's all about everything. Alosha would not give the most important and secure password in the entire facility to Jeremy. I do not
Yeah.
believe that.
All it says ask Alosha for MP password. And then 1439, can't keep forgetting. Deliver Matthias's cigarettes from Jordan.
'Cause
Put up-
of the
Yep, and put up posters for Matthias. Classified mail deliveries. Losha to Woods. And then Matthias to GNT SWLD.
again GNT. Say it again.
GNT SWLD.
Where's that one at?
Right here.
Oh, tonight. TO. Never mind.
Well, this is mail deliveries, who it's from and who it's to. So, Matthias to...
Are we needing initials of people? So I've got like all the names written
No,
down.
you need their name minus all their vowels.
I have 4 pages of that.
Right. That's what I was scanning through to see if anything popped up. But I don't see anything with, like,
So you
starting
said
with
GNT?
S's. Let me start it by this way. Name.
Hold on, 'cause I have people's middle initials. I found a bunch of middle initials in Alosha's back folders.
Right, but I don't think they need a middle initial.
Then why does it say GNT?
GNT is their first name shortened with all the vowels removed. So like
Like
LL,
Grant or no?
LL is not initials. LL is Lila when you remove all
Okay.
vowels.
All right.
Yeah.
So GNT is somebody's name,
Correct.
and what was the context of it?
Grant.
Well, I thought so. There's a no R, and there should be an R. If we're going by that logic, the R is not a vowel.
Correct. Okay, so not Grant.
So what are the initial groupings we're looking for? It was the only one we're trying to figure out the GNT character.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing I don't have them organized by is their names.
Yeah, on here I can sort by name, but I'm not finding anything. Grant was the closest one.
Could it be a last name?
SWLD I think might be the... Yeah, I don't know what SWLD might be, but that's okay. Next one is
Oswald.
Oswald. Okay, so is that the last name?
Yeah, that's Shepard. He's A007. It's Oswald. And then what were the first letters?
Shepard Oswald. Okay.
Yeah. So it's A007. But
So Matthias to something Oswald. I don't know what the G would be.
is GNT Oswald all one thing?
GNT space SWLD. So
Yeah,
GNT is its own word.
Sergeant Oswald. Isn't he like a military?
He's a
police
why,
officer.
why
Is he?
it wouldn't have the S then.
Oh,
And
it
the
doesn't.
R. It
Wait,
just
never mind.
says
So
GNT.
GNT. Oswald's the only one so far I've come across. That
You
would
figured
be
out
correct
one of
letters.
the words in the first letter, but you need Red Panda's cheat sheet.
What?
It says I figured out one of the words in the first letter, so the sister A letter. She says, but I need Red Panda's cheat sheet.
So basically, how I do it for shift ciphers is I just count. Like for the A, I went forward 10, and then I went back 10, and then I filled it in accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
But if you need to, I can put it in Discord as a photo because I made a photo version of it to print out today. So GNT, we're still looking for that.
Yeah, I don't know that it matters though. I mean,
Can
I
you
don't
check
know.
and see if we're correct on the cheat sheet thing? Like on, because I think we're correct. I think it's Oswald, but I don't know what the GNT means.
Let's see. Jeremy's notes show. All it does is show that Matthias and Oswald have been corresponding with each other.
So it's Oswald.
This
Okay.
reveals information about a coded message from a previous episode. So the one that you were talking about,
Yeah.
where it was between Matthias and you didn't know who the other person was,
Yeah.
that's who it is. It's Oswald.
So does that mean Oswald was the one who wrote the threatening letter to us? Remember, I thought the writing looked the same.
Oh, maybe.
If Matthias and Oswald were truly communicating in episode 2.
No. So Matthias is the one who wrote the letter to Oswald. Right?
They were writing back and forth.
Yeah,
I
okay.
thought.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because there's 2 different types of writing on it. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the GNT is referring to. I'm very confused by this.
I'm not sure. I don't know that it matters.
It probably doesn't. I'm just curious.
So let's focus on that rotating
Special
puzzle.
agent.
Agent. Yep. Okay.
I knew it had something to do with his
Okay.
name. I just couldn't remember what it was. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
You're okay. So we've got about 45 minutes left if we want to keep this to about a 2.5 hour episode. So we'll try to do the best we can, chat, or we may end up having to do this in a 2-part series. Let's look at. Our next server.
It's just easier to visualize without having 3 layers of green on top of itself.
Yeah, that's fine.
But do you want the originals back so I can cut these out?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, either or. If you have the little pin.
I don't. I took them from right here. No.
There it is.
You had it. I don't know.
Okay.
They're in the right order. So what else do we still need to figure out before we, because we need to get into the back
As
door,
of right now,
correct?
we just need to get, Exquisite's working on letter 1. Right now we're trying to get into the back door of the system because we can't solve the episode without getting into
Right,
here.
I know. That's what I thought too. That's why I
So-
was checking, because I was like, that seemed to be the most important thing of all at the moment. Was there any, should I try to let you figure this part out while I go on reading the other stuff? I just know we have so much more to still do. We haven't even read any of the online stuff yet.
The only thing I didn't go through was all the forums.
Oh, okay. So you did all the other
Um,
online stuff? Because I've missed all of this. by
Literally
trying
the
to
only
solve
other
problem
thing
solve.
online is the polls. We haven't found anything else online yet because we need the password to get into it.
So there was nothing else on the so the maintenance logs, inventory, all that's not changed.
All I have when I log into the Nex is, so I haven't looked at any of that. I didn't look at any of the maintenance, the hazmats, or the rations. I didn't look at any of that stuff to see how much was changed. just because of the fact that it seemed like majority, or for the past two episodes, none of
Yeah.
that information has really
Okay, no worries. I was just
mattered
checking.
up to this point.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
it did matter. It's just
sorry,
yeah.
mattered into solving the episode.
Okay.
Overall, yes, it matters in establishing timelines and all that stuff. Okay. Let's see. I think that matters.
Right. See your top one just for a second. Or sorry,
Mm-hmm.
you're actually the bottom. I realized with this one, it's symmetrical. So this one has four fingers on the middle has four fingers on each side. What I was
Okay.
trying to do was create something where I had like four fingers on each side left that it could fit into.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It
Like
does, yeah.
the middle one is the symmetrical one. So if we can spin the top and the bottom together, create the pattern we need, where there's holes for four things at a time.
Right.
So like right here, I think that would count because I've got enough for one, two, 4,
Okay.
and then 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
So
So do you want the top one?
I need the middle.
The middle.
If I'm not even really right, I'll give it right back to you.
Yeah, you're fine.
If I can't figure this out, I'm gonna move on just because there's so much else to do.
Yeah. All right. So let's see if there's any other hints with it. Rotating puzzle hint. Puzzle two. Um. She was saying that for letter one, it might be easier for us to do letter one.
Why? Okay. Then I can definitely tackle that. Do you want to keep working on this then? Because you were getting somewhere, I think, weren't you?
I mean, for time restraint, do we want to go ahead and just reveal it?
Like I'm waving the white flag all over the place for this episode. But
I mean, we are. I mean, like we said, I mean, it took this guy, that we saw
part of me's
otherwise
like,
took
should
4 hours.
I know. Part of me's like, should I be trying to do the special ciphers ahead of time so that we can move through it quicker in the future? Like,
No.
well, because my issue that I'm having is I cannot focus on doing a cipher and hear all. I've missed so much information this episode.
Correct. Yes.
And so that's the frustration I'm having. But you're right. I don't want it to take forever either. So like, I'm just kind of at a loss.
You haven't missed anything that is like insurmountable to the episode. In all honesty.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out. The bad guy in my head right now is Shepard, but there's no
Right.
chance in hell that she would have asked Shepard to let her out of the building.
Right.
She asked Jeremy to help her.
Maybe.
He knows the password. I still don't understand how he knows Alocia's password. That's really bothering me.
Okay, so
There's no
ELGB
reason that
is
kid should
vote.
know that.
Okay. For letter one.
Sorry, I'm not focusing on letter one because, like you said, unless we get this figured out, we can't move on. So
Correct.
I was giving it one more Hail Mary before you said the answer out loud. Really wanted to figure this one out. I've been able to figure out the last two and just Oh my god, I think I just got it.
Oh, I can't do it. You
You
get it?
can't do what I thought I had.
No, you're good. I was just trying to think if that's vote. So if E is V and L is O and G is T and E is V. So that's all. Looking at E. So look, what I'm seeing right there is. Oh yeah. Okay, so it is alphabet backwards. So okay, so it's at bash or Atabash or whatever it is. Okay. So it's a completely just backwards alphabet.
So it folds back on itself, like we
No,
thought.
it doesn't fold back. It's A equals Z and Z equals A. So it's not that it's not like what you were talking about earlier, where it was like A through and then like N, like by shifting by 13. It's not the shift by 13. It's just full on. You take A through Z and then you write the alphabet backwards. A through Z.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that the same
That's
one
the
that
one
Lila
for-
was signing this page with? Is it the same thing? Because Lila, remember she had this right here coded?
Oh, that I'm not sure.
So I just didn't know.
This is she's talking about the letter still from
Do
Sister
we
A.
still have any idea what this means? I don't understand where that jives in with everything yet.
We don't.
They get so close, and then it just doesn't work out.
Oh, it's to help. This is to help solve who this is, but we figured it out a different way. That's all that is.
It's to solve.
This is to help solve that.
How does that help us understand who
The
Lila
answer.
is?
So it looks like the hint says that the answer to this, the word that answers this, is you take the number of letters in that word and shift that by that many.
What is this answer? I never figured that
I mean,
out.
do you want me to reveal it?
Yeah.
Okay. So contact letter. So is that the answer to the riddle is words. So without moving, words can hurt.
Okay.
Without touching, words can poison.
Okay.
Truth and lies, words bear.
Oh my God. That's so
Not to be
much harder.
judged by their size.
Yeah, that's so much
And
harder.
what are they? They're words. And so you shift the name by, or you do a shift cipher by that many letters,
Yeah.
or by that many numbers, I mean, of the word. So by 5 letters, and that reveals her name.
Okay.
So that's all that
Fair
was.
enough. Fair enough.
So
I think I'm darn near close with this. I'm sorry. If we need to, though, just tell me and we'll move on. Like you said, we still have a billion other things to do.
okay. So with us, we're gonna try to do this. I don't know how much data we've got in the backdoor portion, so I am gonna go ahead and wave the white flag for us on this. We can continue to try to solve it later. But the as of right now, it looks like it is 40 thieves.
It was from Aladdin.
So we just were going off of Open Sesame rather than anything else.
Well, yeah, because it's
So Arabian Nights.
the King of 40 Thieves.
Yeah, so Arabian Nights protect the door. The answer is 40 thieves. So
Yeah, because I think isn't the third Aladdin called like the Prince and 40 Thieves or the King of 40 Thieves or something like that?
okay. So we are. Which files are we looking for?
We're looking for who helped Persephone because they most likely are the person who killed her.
Okay, so find out who Persephone trusted. Okay.
Which to me that would have been Simone. Like out of all the people she trusted, Simone and Jordan. Those are the two people she trusted. Right. They're the ones she was doing research with.
Do you remember everything that we've already looked at? So personnel file, notes.
100%. I got that.
That's already done. I think there's probably more notes than maybe.
Probably not.
Okay.
Pick someone as an example.
I mean, we start with A001. Seems kind, but keeps to herself. Treats Patricia like baby. Patricia's not baby.
Yes.
Okay.
That's going to be
Terminal.
Oh, never mind. That's
Federal Bureau of Investigation report made at
that's new.
something. I can type stuff. Okay.
Oh no, this is the redacted. So he kept complaining about Shepard's reports were always so redacted that he could not read them, and he would ask for Priscilla's help or Patricia's help, and she could not read them either. Shepard would always send such classified material that wasn't legible. So anything that's whited out is probably redacted from Shepard.
Right.
So you want to go back to the top and see what I was saying? I couldn't read any of it. You were scrolling.
Yeah, no, you're fine. So Federal Bureau of Investigation report made at redacted. Report made by Shepard Oswald.
Mm-hmm.
Subject Theodore Markson, alias Watson.
So this might be the hacker.
Character of case, security matter. Subject believed to have orchestrated a series of cyber attacks targeting redacted.
That it doesn't do anything. Okay. Just access. That's pretty good, actually.
Okay. Attacks made by individual using the moniker Watson. Early attacks targeted large amounts of classified information were leaked to the public after each of these breaches. More recent attacks targeted redacted several days ago. Redacted was targeted. It is critical that subject is apprehended before any of this data is released, subject to be taken into custody for immediate questioning. All the details have been redacted as well. Yep. Approved and forwarded, Jennifer Van Son, agent in charge.
That's interesting. So is that person in charge of... Is that person in charge of Shepard?
Maybe.
Because she just has agent in charge versus special agent.
It doesn't look like I can do anything with this. It just the hints just say this file is about the hacker.
Yeah.
That Alicia's been trying to track down. It contains redacted information.
Yeah. It really didn't say anything we didn't already know.
Access denied.
Okay, so we can't type into it because we're locked out. Okay.
Correct.
That's interesting.
Investigation, case file.
The fourth, the thing on the right is the only thing we could not get.
New.
That's new.
Okay.
That's Oswald.
Oh, there's some kind of sound. Are you hearing that?
Not at all. I hear music, but that's definitely Oswald.
Okay. Let's take a look at...
Oh my god, she really had Oswald let her out? Why would she have done that? That makes no sense.
Where'd my sound go?
That does not even remotely make any sense.
Click for sound. Okay.
It's been very clear that
it's
Oswald and Matthias have been.
Yeah, let me turn off the music right now, and then see if I can.
Yeah, that's when she was leaving at 6 a.m. Well, maybe he did kill her.
I'm not seeing any sound coming through anything right now.
They're definitely talking. Here, let me do it this way. Let me try to pull it up on my phone and see if it does anything different than what yours is doing. You said it was 40 Thieves, all lowercase.
Click for sound, but I don't have any sound shown. Try. Only come through one of two sound sources, so I don't know.
I'm working on a secondary angle, babe, while you're trying to troubleshoot that. Did I just spell 40 Thieves wrong?
Huh?
How do you spell 40 Thieves? I think I just spelled
Forty Thieves. Mm-hmm.
You're in the case file under the surveillance camera.
Correct. So
I'm tapping
I
it
can't
for
get
sound.
any kind of sound to come through. I don't know if there is sound.
It says tap for sound. Why would it
Yeah, I
do
know.
that?
There just may not be sound.
Well, look on there. See if the video cheat sheet has any sound.
I didn't see anything that mentioned it.
It could be he muted it.
So this is day 1816 at 0603. So we're looking for
It's Oswald. The answer's Oswald. That's the whole episode.
I mean, I thought that was Spider-Man. But I mean, is that not Peter Parker?
He's about 25.
I
Break it to you.
mean, the one image made him look like what's his name that plays Peter Parker, okay?
I'm just curious why out of all the people she trusted, why she trusted him instead of Simone or Jordan or like one of the 14 people I swear that she would have trusted more than that guy.
Yeah. Toby or whatever. What's his? Yeah, is it Toby?
Tobey Maguire?
No, is that who?
That was who played Spider-Man when we were kids.
No, not him. The newer one that plays
Oh,
Spider-Man.
I have no idea
like
what that
Avengers.
kid's name is, but he's dating that other chick.
Yeah, that is dating Zendaya.
Tom Holland. There you go. That guy.
There you go, Tom Holland. Yeah.
Again, way
See,
too
like
old.
this first image
Way
made me
too
think it
old.
was Tom Holland.
I'm feeling that.
I'm feeling it. Yes, I look. You know what? Y'all can agree to disagree. Okay. Let's see. You get? Yeah, I don't think there's sound. More like Tobey Maguire? Okay, maybe. All right. Okay. We'll minimize that. Let's close that. So that was on.
That was on the case file part, yeah.
Okay, so let's look at.
The TSS we already know, virus we already know, AC we already know, facility map we do not. So try the facility map out of curiosity. Well,
Okay.
that's neat. I don't think it really gives us much of anything though. Like the literature. Okay, wait. So she. Wait, hold on.
What?
Did Exquisite get some video to work out? Did I miss something?
No, it says for speed. I
Oh.
didn't transcribe and write down the translation for letter 1, but you can give
Okay.
a summary.
Okay. Cyril having a sister? I don't recall he's got any family. I'm looking. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. Access denied for that. Access denied for that. Access denied for that. Wait, what was the room that we needed?
It was the server room.
Yeah. Okay.
Why do we need a room though? I'm confused.
Because there's all these different rooms.
But the answer we need to complete the episode was just Shepard Oswald. He's the guy who's helping her.
Oh, I thought we had to put in files.
I thought we just had to put in
Input command and type in the file names you find in the data cache.
Oh, I thought the whole time they kept asking who was the person helping her. Who was the person helping her? So I thought that was the goal. Was Shepard helped her? Does he talk about his sister in any of the therapy sessions by chance?
Oswald?
No,
Maybe.
she said Cyril.
Oh, who is Cyril's sister? I don't know. There's a sister A, like they.
Sister A is the nun,
Yeah.
and they are not related. She loves Cyril, though. She like worships the ground he walks on for some reason. Is that helpful?
Yeah.
I don't
looks like it.
recall him having a sibling. Basically, everyone who was in the facility, all their families died in the story. Like anyone who basically came from the outside in as family or friends that had high enough clearance to come in, they all died from the virus. Like everyone. The only people that survived were the botanist, Shepard, or sorry. No, the botanist,
Yes.
the Persephone.
Okay, so
only
Cyril in the
survived.
letter, Cyril says, "How have you been, sister?" So yes,
Oh,
so
okay.
because he's addressing Sister A.
That makes
So
more
that's what
sense.
that is.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So yeah, you can give a summary, I guess. That's fine. So then it would be. So does the map file give us anything that matters? I guess.
I couldn't get into anything with it.
Well, the only thing I could think of is it's trying to point to the server room, but he's like in the hall, like as she's leaving the bunker. I'm just really confused. Facility map. Wow, it shows you where everyone's rooms are. That's pretty cool. Except when you push down and it knocks you out of the whole system. That is so annoying.
Oh, so what was the one where we got the code from? What room
By
number
code,
did it say?
do you mean Alotian stuff?
Yes. What was the
I'm looking. Are you needing the old code or the new code?
No, I need to know what the room number is for room.
Did he say that on the first page or the second
I think
page?
it was on the Layla.
Room 1105.
Okay, let's try something here. Let me go full screen so I can actually see everything correctly. Oh, room 105 pops up. This maybe was why it didn't work. Okay.
Wait, 105? I said 110.
I know, but the only thing that was anywhere close to 1105 is 105, so I clicked on it and it popped up asking for a password. So the password was what, 1439, right?
That's the new one.
There we go. Let me see if we can.
I think that's her server room, isn't it? No. 5A. Yeah. In space. Oh, that looks like an emitter. That looks like a piece of one of the emitter things.
It has a number on it. That's the only thing we can.
I'm looking up who's
really
105A's. I'm looking up who's 105A's room. That's in Alosha's profile. I just can't. 105A. I just can't remember whose room that is. It's Shepard's.
It's Shepard's. So there's an emitter in Shepard's.
So basically, there's pieces of everything. So
Right.
basically, there's multiple components. The chip that she had was only one chunk of the much bigger machine. It was neither the receiver nor the emitter. It was a piece of that.
Okay.
And so I think the first episode we found that one of the things is still in the base,
That's right.
and it only has a distance of
So
so far.
that number probably
basically,
matches that piece.
She had the part that made the noise. He had the part that turned it on and off. So basically,
Okay.
he made it so that when she came back close enough to the base, he had that set up and on, I bet you. And so when she got close enough to the base, the aliens immediately attacked her because
Right.
they could hear the sound, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but what are the initials? I can check, but I without question, it's going to be the same number.
Yeah,
I
it's gonna be the same number.
Yeah.
Okay,
So but again,
we
that goes
need
back to why the heck she trusted him.
I can. Is it gonna let me? No. Okay. I was gonna try to copy and paste that file name.
It should just be the facility map thing, isn't it?
Well, there was a
It was an actual file name.
specific.
Oh, great. That's confusing.
See, surveillance dot dormitory 105A type thing, but I'm gonna see.
Yeah. Yo, there you go. That one.
Yeah, I'll just copy
Yeah,
from
for speed.
since we figured it out. So we've
Yeah.
got. I think we found all three. It looks, or probably everything that we can find this episode.
That was
for
everything
stuff.
that was left. All the other stuff had already been unlocked.
So let's look at first before we put the answers into Patricia. We'll take a quick look at coded message 1 that Exquisite was able to decipher.
And then we still need to look at Matthias's poster
Yes, as well.
because he's using her words against her, so I think that might really
Yeah.
matter.
Okay, so basically, this letter in summary is thanks to Exquisite. Is Cyril wants to vote to seal off because the issue is far more nuanced than that. We're almost out of decontamination materials. Expeditions can't continue. Sister is upset with him for lying to her. She knows that Persephone didn't die from the plague. And then Cyril thinks that Dr. Whelan might be able to make the base self-sufficient, and he knows he'll probably be the tiebreaker.
Okay, so one more time. So Cyril wants to vote to seal off? I thought he would lean the other direction. That shocks me a little bit.
He wants to seal off because it's they're almost out of decontamination material.
Right, but the issue is, and what's been made very clear, is Dr. Whelan's not able to produce enough food to become self-sufficient. In fact, they just had a hiccup with the plants recently, and due to some debacle, they were starving for 2 weeks.
Right, but Cyril thinks that Dr. Whelan actually can make it self-sufficient.
Right, but again, the hiccup is if they had a hiccup now and people had to go without resources for 2 weeks and have to really, really pinch to get through.
Right.
And they have access to the surface, what happens if they run through all their reserves and he hiccups again and screws it up further? Like, the whole point is, Persephone said if they seal themselves off, they will starve to death. End of story.
So like, Cyril has a motive of why why taking out Persephone, right? Has the motive behind it. Because he wants to lock down the base.
But Persephone's not going to vote.
Okay. Correct. But he's using Persephone as a means to an ends of that if he killed Persephone, because he told everybody thought it was due to the plague.
Right.
That so he's trying to say like, oh yeah, see the plague's still a thing, and like, you know, we need to lock in because we're running out of decontamination materials, and if people keep going out there and they catch this plague, we're gonna all get it. We're all gonna die. So we need to be locked in so that we can't do it.
Who's who though? Matthias. No, I'm saying that Cyril has A003 is Matthias.
A003 is Matthias, yes.
Cyril just does not. This doesn't sound like Cyril at all.
But Cyril thinks Dr.
I think she made a mistake in the translation, babe. What I'm trying to tell you is Cyril at no point has come across as in league with Matthias or Shepard. It's just none of it's making sense, like what was translated. So I think she might be saying Matthias is saying all these things, not Cyril, which would make total sense. Okay. Cyril is the therapist. He is a nobody who keeps his head down, counsels everyone. Everyone needs to sit down and meditate and talk about their feelings. He's also Kidori lovey-feely, not a calculating manipulator. He is just not that smart of an individual. He is much more of just a pacifist. Like, literally, people were grieving and trying to figure out how to survive, and he's like, come on, let's go sit down, let's talk about our feelings. And they're like, no, the apocalypse is happening. We don't have time to talk about feelings. We gotta live. We gotta figure out how to survive.
Okay, so let's just read the... we'll pull this up since we know that Exquisite was able to get it resolved. So Cyril is communicating with Sister Ada in this message. So, Cyril, how have you been, sister? I've missed our luncheons. Ada, and I've missed being able to place my trust in you. But such is life. You used me as a pawn. Do not expect me to forget that. Proverbs 29:2, my friend. Cyril, you have it backwards. We needed to avoid inciting a panic. Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous thrive, the people rejoice. When the wicked rule, the people groan. So you have it backwards. We needed to avoid inciting a panic leading up to the vote. Ada, any panic the people feel is justified, and the very premise of the vote is foolish. We cannot seal ourselves away, Cyril. It is a death sentence and a mortal sin. Cyril, please encode all sensitive information. The issue is far more nuanced than that. We're almost out of proper decontamination materials. Expeditions can't continue. I will not hide my sentiments. Persephone did not perish from the plague. Despite the shameful mistruths you fooled me into spreading. Returning to the surface or even visiting it allows for the possibility of life. Remaining underground is certain death. Cyril is not certain. Dr. Whelan could still manage to make the base fully self-sustaining. Ada, that's quite a gamble to make. Cyril, both options are a gamble. The surface is dangerous for more reasons than the virus. I need to weigh the facts before I vote. I may be the tiebreaker in this, and I don't take that lightly. Ada, I know you don't. We'll speak again once you've made the right decision. You know in your heart what that is.
So what Cyril was doing was allowing Sister A to believe that Persephone died from the virus instead of an alien attack.
Correct.
And she's mad that he didn't allow for the truth to be known, because regardless of how she died, it matters, because, like in this situation, we know she didn't have her hazmat suit on for freaking 7 days.
Right.
That means the virus is no longer active, meaning you can live outside without your hazmat suits on.
Right.
So that makes sense.
We know that, and then it came out and stuff like that. So she's mad because of that. But so what I'm saying though is that means that Cyril has a motive. If Cyril is wanting the lock-in,
but he doesn't. He doesn't really know what he wants. That's what he's kind of saying, though, isn't it?
No, he's saying that he wants a lock-in.
He's saying he's not sure, and he might be the tie-breaking vote.
No.
He needs to consider his options.
Right. He's saying both options are a gamble. So it's dangerous for more reasons than the virus. I need to weigh the facts before I vote. Right. Aliens. But what I'm gathering from all of this, though, is that there's still a motive that if he is leaning towards lock-in, which majority of this letter talks about him being leaning towards lock-in, is that his motive to have Persephone killed is that it would come across as that she died because of the virus.
Right.
And then that would help push for a lock-in.
I'm just trying to understand why Cyril would have a higher motive than Matthias or Shepard.
I'm not saying he does. I'm just saying that he has a motive. I'm not saying that he's higher.
I'm confused because, to me, the other has a high motive.
That's fine. Yeah, the other.
He sounds uncertain.
Too. Right.
He sounds like he has not made up his mind.
All I'm saying is factually that I take this as that he has that there is a motive. I'm not saying that his is the only motive or that he is the top suspect or anything of that nature. I'm just saying that when I read this, I take it as that there is a possible motive of that Cyril being a suspect. Mm-hmm. That if he wanted to push for lock-in based on the sole fact that they do not have enough supplies for decontamination,
right?
Then he would want to push that the virus is still a real thing and that it will kill people. Correct?
I don't know if I agree with that necessarily, because regardless of...
So that wouldn't be a reason for him to kill Persephone?
Because he mentions the virus is not the only concern on the surface.
Right.
He clearly mentions aliens without saying the word alien. So, if the virus exists or doesn't exist, if aliens are still out there, there's technically danger on the surface. So there's no real reason to lie about the virus being a thing and being a danger.
So we feel that Cyril is not a suspect.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Okay. I'm just saying that he is not the main suspect. He's not the most obvious suspect.
I agree with you.
And I'm just saying that I don't feel like he's making his intentions known one way or the other yet. He sounds iffy, and he sounds like he could be swayed one way or the other. Sister A is trying to sway him to the side of climbing out, eventually taking our chances. He's right now toying with the safety of the known, which is locking ourselves in, versus the safety of the unknown, which is trying to figure out how to still go out and not contaminate the facility below.
Right.
It sounds like he just doesn't have enough proof yet to believe the virus is no longer a thing.
Okay.
Unless, does he clearly say the virus does not exist? Does he know that information?
He does not. He does not say that. Sorry.
I just don't think he killed Persephone.
Right. I don't... Right. So that's what I was saying that what I was trying to say was that while I feel there may be a motive, I don't know whether he had the means or the opportunity. So in order for us to be able to prove, obviously, if a suspect did something, they would need a motive, they would need a means, and they would need an opportunity. So, honestly, if he has a motive, my interpretation of what his motive might be would be that if he wants to push for a lock-in, is that would be his motive to having Persephone killed, is to say that if that's what he did, and if that's what he wants, that he would have her killed to be able to try to use the avenue of approach of that, look, hey, the virus is still real, and also, look, we don't have enough decontamination stuff. So a lock-in would be what we would need to do to protect ourselves, because the virus is out there, and this, now in this letter, he's realizing that he's been caught, of that he let Sister A...
He was using her.
Correct. Yeah. And so she's mad at him for that, right? So I'm not saying that he definitely did it. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying that might be a possibility of a motive for him. Now, because I don't know on the others, what their possible motives might be beyond trying to pursue.
Well, my biggest argument still in all of this is for anyone to consider locking themselves in with a hacker on the loose that's literally screwing with Patricia's system, that's scary.
I don't think everybody knows that, though.
No.
Right.
But the council does, which means Lind, this guy, and Matthias, and Shepard, all three of them, they know that there's a hacker loose doing unknown amounts of damage to Patricia's hardware and her system. So the fact they're still willing to lock themselves in with a computer that's literally under some psychopath's control is boggling to me.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like, Alosha has made it very clear to the whole council that the hacker is still a thing, and the hacker is hacking people, or hacking Patricia, and messing with her. So, I don't know. I agree. I honestly think it's Shepard. I think Matthias is the leader of the lock-in, but I think it's Shepard. I don't understand, and I'm still struggling with why she would have trusted him to let her out of the facility. That's what I'm having issues with.
Yeah.
Why would she trust somebody who's in the council, who leans one way or the other, help her, prove the virus doesn't exist, when you kind of know he's got a different motive? Like, I don't know. It's just weird to me. But I guess we'll find out in 4 and 5. It's not jiving. Like, from what I've read of Persephone so far, she's a very intelligent person. She wouldn't have trusted this guy. So that's where I'm struggling right now. So it is what it is.
I think that, so Shepard is definitely connected. I mean, it has a very high connection to it, right? Because of what we found out during this episode. Right. So, I mean, we've got the redacted file, we've got the surveillance, entryway thing. We've got the surveillance from the dormitory where we can see that he has the matching number thing. And
he has the other piece to the thing that makes the aliens come running.
So
yeah.
All right.
I need to look back at that schematic and see if he's got the piece that makes the noise or if he has the piece that turns on the device that makes the noise, because it would make no sense to turn on the device in the facility because you would lure aliens straight to the facility, and that seems like a really reckless thing to do.
Yeah.
So I would assume he sent her with the device, but he kept the little button for some reason to turn it on and off, which makes no sense, because why would she willingly go somewhere with the device if she didn't have the chance to control when it was on and off? Like, who would want to go around with a beacon that screams, "Come to me," without having control of when it's saying, "Come to me"?
Right.
What'd all that pop-up say?
So after we pop in, unless he really tricked her, right? And then what you were saying, right?
Well, he obviously manipulated her. She just doesn't seem like that manipulable, like that easily. Ooh, yay, it's back. This stuff in the bottom. I want you to screenshot all that.
The power usage?
The power usage, the oxygen, the humidity.
Solar power?
Look at the oxygen, it's 19%.
Okay.
So something tells me that the oxygen in the facility is running a lot lower than they're letting people know, and the plants aren't clearing enough of it. And so if they lock themselves in, they're going to die. I'm totally possibly off with this, but I saw this on your first screenshot from episode 1, that the oxygen percent was really low.
Okay.
And I just thought that was really interesting. Because again, Persephone was convinced if they lock in, they will all perish 100%.
Right.
So she was willing to put her life on the line to prove this by going out to try to convince people not to seal themselves away in a coffin, basically. And
it looks like it's fluctuating between 19 and 20.
So I'm suspicious, but this stuff is different. That's never been out here before. That's new.
It's just because normally when I have this, I have it down like this, and you can't see it.
It just on my version on the phone, it won't show up. Is what I'm trying to tell you. So I've been watching that, just seeing.
Yeah,
how much it matters.
I will make sure that I get a screenshot of that. It looks like it fluctuates as well.
Well, because does the humidity and all? Because I think that middle one should be humidity, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me.
Yeah, you're good.
Let me back out of Patricia.
No, you're good. We'll just finish the episode. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll be able to see it later.
So relative humidity for generators and everything else. It looks like it moves around some.
Yeah.
Power usage, battery storage, and solar power all kind of moves as well.
Sorry.
You're okay. There we go.
Oh, nice. I was afraid of.
Google that oxygen levels at sea level is 20.9. Okay. So we put in the files. It says Patricia says so Patricia is answering.
Which is really Lilo speaking through Patricia's backdoor.
Says files found, you've done well. She's just typing. The man in the video looks like, and then shows typing. And then A002 says override username protocol initiated. A002 now A007.
What?
So. Oh. Okay. So A002 is Oswald, right?
No, it's
No.
Alosha.
It's Alosha? Okay. Well, it says override username, protocol initiated. A002 is now A007. Is A007
Shepard, the bad
Shepard
guy.
is the bad guy. Okay. So, A007. So, Shepard is now talking to us.
But we weren't talking to
Stop
Alosha.
up! Posture check. Okay.
But
No,
we
we
weren't.
weren't. We were
Oh,
not
okay,
talking.
okay.
Shepard just hacked in and is now taking over this conversation.
Because he has the ability to hack into A002
Correct.
stuff.
So,
Okay.
the next statement will explain all of it as
Yeah.
well.
Okay.
It says, ever feel a little tingling feeling like someone was talking about you behind your back? Lila answering back, Oswald, how long have you had access to Alosha's account? That old bag of bones is still trying to climb out of the Soviet era. It was easy.
He was a spy, I think, previously.
And I see you have found me on surveillance. I didn't think I'd have to try so hard to block you out. Well done. Credit where credit is due. You're not going to get away with this. Blah, blah, blah. I already have. Now I must go. Lots to do. So little time and all that. What are you planning? Well, if I told you that, I wouldn't be very good at what I do now, would I? Don't listen to Lila, C-117. If you keep following her, there'll be no reprieve for you either. A007 says, now time to begin. Wait. Override new Omega protocol initiated. A007. No, W000 is Lila.
No.
It's not? Oh, I thought that was our contact talking to us.
Like W000, it's basically an override code where it's not really Patricia talking. We're talking to the contact itself.
Correct, and our contact is Lila, right?
Right. Patricia is 000 Omega, I think, is what hers was.
Okay. She asked, are we W000? No, we are not W000.
We are the it would be the contact, so I guess it is
W000
Lila,
is the contact, which
Sorry,
is Lila.
Lila's technical number is A001. So that's
Okay.
where I got confused.
You're
Because
fine.
that's her technical ID number.
Okay. So
you're fine.
W000 is A1. A001. So it looks like she
So
said,
new
wait,
Omega protocol.
Patricia is then activating override new Omega protocol initiated. No, he says don't listen to Lila, C-117. If you keep following her, there'll be no reprieve for you either.
He's talking to us, isn't he?
Correct. Yeah, Patricia A007. So
Yeah.
A007 is telling us to not listen to Lila.
Because Lila is our contact who's showing up as the W000,
Correct.
as Tony was saying.
So A007 has now disconnected. It looks like Lila is trying to type back to us.
And it won't work.
Are you okay? Like, I'm guessing that's supposed to be okay. Something's wrong, and then initiating emergency disconnect sequence. You are now disconnected. So our conversation with our contact has now been compromised. Shepard knows that we and Lila are involved in all of this information being, I guess, leaked out.
I'm just curious how he's going to keep her and Alosha and all the others quiet. And also, I want to know what the Omega Protocol just did, because they had a setup where they could lock the doors once and for all. But they didn't say what that would become.
Right.
I did find out from reading all of Alosha's old notes in his timeline that Omega Protocol happened when, basically he was pushing for the Omega Protocol to happen before it did. It was basically, they did it the day, pretty much right after the aliens started attacking, because they showed up a day early. So day 0 in our timeline is technically when Omega Protocol was initiated, which is basically when they turned off internet communication with the outside world. Patricia was internally only. The whole handbook went into effect. Everyone got their new names. The council was decided, and all that happened.
Right.
So I'm just curious, with him enacting another Omega Protocol, what does that mean?
Right.
Honestly, we found out a lot of information in this episode I was not expecting yet. I was not expecting to find out the bad guy already.
Right.
I'm usually
So
excited I was right and I recognized the handwriting. That makes
Mhm.
me excited. It at least deters the fact that I could not solve that.
Right.
Do
These
we want
ciphers
to
are
do this?
definitely. I mean, we knew going into these that the ciphers were going to be very difficult. It's like a level 5 out of 5 difficulty on this case. So, yeah, let's take a look. What does it say on there?
I just wanted to see how he worded this differently. It says, "I want to die." That's because she wrote about the pears. She ate so many pears.
Oh, that's right.
But she then said, "I am in so much pain because she ate so much. I'm starting to feel tired. I want to throw up." So basically, he's picking out words where she's showing symptoms of the virus
Right.
instead of "I overate pears and I'm stupid for eating so many pears." And then, so from disease, so virus, from the alien scourge. I heard them last night. Something was moving in the dark. I could feel them stalking around the tree I was in. So that is true. But I could see the aliens swarming around it. Hundreds of them was talking about that tower
Mhm.
that kept moving in the distance, and we think it's like their terminal or their hub or their hive.
Right.
It was moving, and she could see it in the distance. So that's what this part's about. So that's definitely out of context as well. And from the inevitable fate of all who abandoned our community. Wow. I don't know why I'm doing this. Everyone is going to hate me. My heart is still pounding. These are my last days. Oh my. Yeah, he really did. You can even see on the lines,
Yeah.
like where he cut and maneuvered stuff. Because you can see,
Yeah.
like right here, the words, like the
Oh yeah,
coloring.
absolutely. Yeah, it kind of moved stuff around and like
So,
made it say what they wanted to say.
because the contact had found this stuff in his room, and she
Mhm.
took the pages. That's how we got them
Right.
originally.
Correct.
So
We don't know how he managed to get
yeah,
a hold of the
we're assuming it was
notebook.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Because Jordan's the one that brought back everything. He's the one that authorized her to do it.
Oh, that's right.
So ideally, Jordan would have handed it over like she was supposed to, and then he did what he wanted with everything else.
Yeah. Uh,
Mind your speech. That is super creepy. If you know this is coming from A003, we're listening. So does that mean Patricia? Does that mean Matthias? Does that mean the aliens? Does that mean all of the above? We are listening. Mind your speech. Basically, don't think or talk. That's creepy. What are you trying?
I was trying to type in new Omega protocol.
She may not answer anything since we were in backdoor mode. You can try though.
Yeah, just says I don't understand that.
Did you ask
You
what
wonder if the
is?
dots in the background are some kind of cipher, maybe?
It could be some type of Okay.
Oh. Yeah, maybe.
The I was trying to see if it was in the form of letters.
I mean, I see two squares.
This one does look like an E, but the problem is they're like 5 or 6 dots high, so I'm having trouble like.
But do I not have that one open? There.
Is Braille six? Is it 3 dots high or is it 6 dots high?
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't quite tell if that's something or not. It could. It sure looks like it might be words, but it's not popping out at me as something specific.
Yeah, and I can't like
You're good.
mess with the any of like how it looks.
Well, I can use the
Yeah, later
clear
on we can
post-it
look at
notes
the
and play with it a little
photos and
bit,
stuff
but
like that.
it doesn't say anything on there about the poster having a hidden message, does it?
Not aware of, but
I
let me check.
mean, because the thing is, like, what would be the point of a hidden message on this? They've always got other ways to communicate, aka Jeremy. Jeremy having a Aloysius password is bothering me. Like, weirdly bothering me.
No, nothing
Okay.
about the poster.
Yeah.
So there you go. Okay, chat. So overall, definitely a crazy episode. A lot of frustrations with this episode.
From what I
You
read,
know,
3 was,
we-
like, the most frustrating from most
Yeah.
people, just from the coding, the password.
Mhm. So trying to decipher all that, there was definitely a lot of ciphers this episode. A lot of different ciphers this episode, and then just a lot of frustrating puzzles as well. But we got through it. We did have to use our hints and reveals and stuff like that just to try to keep things down on time a little bit. But I definitely think we, overall did a great job with this episode, especially with all of you in chat helping out. It's a massive, massive help, and we greatly appreciate it. So again, if you're watching this on YouTube, and you want to come in and help us solve some of this stuff a little bit easier, so that hopefully maybe we don't have to use as many of the hints and reveals to keep to time. Join us when we do that. Join the Discord. That'll be down in the description down below. If you'd like this content, you want to see more of this content, of course, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the videos, and leave any comments down, in the video as well on YouTube once we get that up. And that really helps us be seen. It helps us really grow and help us get hopefully more people in here to help, solve more of the ciphers. So, definitely a frustrating episode. Like I don't think I can say that enough. But
like
we're gonna try to rally, and we're gonna with episode 4. Pay attention to Discord for when episode 4 will be coming to be able to watch that live, and then we'll get everything put up on YouTube as soon as I am able to. All right.
I do feel like as a positive, because I don't want to end on a negative. I feel like we got a lot out of this episode. Like the amount of data, information, we found out who the contact was, we found out who the bad guy is, who's messing with Patricia. Like we found out a lot of huge information. So now I'm kind of in my head spiraling, going, what are they going to cover over the next 2 episodes? Like I'm super excited to see where they take this, because honest to God, I thought this stuff would be revealed in episode 5.
Right.
So like they've blown my mind with how much they've revealed, and we're halfway through the season.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. Was it frustrating? Yes, but they did this one to challenge the Uber nerds, which I would consider as part of that community. And now we're being humbled slightly. I'm realizing that we're not quite as good as we thought, but that we have a very awesome chat that is able to help us out, and that teamwork really does, especially for this kind of volume.
Oh, absolutely.
If it was me and you, we would have quit hours ago. Like we would have had a timeout. Like there's just no way we could have pulled it off on our own at all. So thank you guys so much.
Absolutely.
Very much.
The dates in the Discord may be actually correct already, Exquisite. So just as a heads up, I'm going to talk it through with Red Panda just to make sure that we are good with those dates, and then be able to go from there, okay? So, we will catch you all next time. Stay safe, stay strange, and have a fantastic rest of your day.